Check. How about now? Better, better, better. Give me a one. Check. I just checked it again. Is it better now? Check 1, 2, check. Okay, back. Back, back, back. Okay, we're back. I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing lately. Shit. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. All right, well, then you didn't miss anything. Rise and shine, rise and shine. Welcome in, everybody. Hood Dispatcher, David Moyer, Sooner in Texas. Austin Hill, True Okie, Keaton Galactadon. What up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Who else we got in here? Hood Dispatcher. I like it. I like it. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Mizzou this week. Mizzou this week. Yeah. Big win. Hey, it's a big win last week, obviously, against the Alabama Crimson Tide on the road. This is where you have to hope that Oklahoma is going to continue to play like their hair's on fire, like they're, I think I heard Kip talking about it on the show that he did with Caden yesterday. He was saying, continue with that one shot, one kill mentality. Make sure that you're playing for your playoff life, essentially. And you are, as you can tell that. I mean, look, right now it's showing Oklahoma's going to get in at 10-2, but there's still a possibility you got another couple of 10-2 teams out there. Say if you would have, like I said, 9-3 is probably not going to get you in anyway, but you're still going to have, what's up, Collins McDaniel? That's what you, okay, Hood Dispatchers down. my guy, I like it. I like it. Good stuff. No, but as I said, it's one of those deals where you really have to come in and you have to take care of business. This is a team at 7-3 right now. They've got, back-to-back 10-win seasons. As much as we're not fans of Drink and his antics and stuff like that, he's put together a good football program there at Missouri. And they went big in the rushing game last week with, Ahmad Hardy had 300 rushing yards in this game, in that game against Mississippi State. They're playing likely playing a new quarterback. I wouldn't expect Bo Pribula. If anything, I think that's probably Drink. Just making you think about it a little bit and try to make him make Oklahoma have to prepare for multiple quarterbacks. Understandable. But you have to pretty much expect that that's not going to be what happens. Some bitch. There's a freaking bee in here earlier, and I thought I fought him off, and y'all see me freak out in here. Don't know why. OU has to slow down and stop the run game in order to come out of this game with a win. They do. And with look, their this is their third quarterback, actually, when you look at him. But Matt Zollers, he's completed 35 of 66 attempts on the season. That's just 53%. But he does have 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's nothing like the other guys, right? We're looking at him and Bo Pribula was passing for almost 70% before he went down. He has some interceptions as well, but they've always been a rushing team. All there is to it, and Pribula actually had 220 yards on the ground as well throughout the season so far. So you have to look at it in terms of this is where generally we've been trying to make people one-dimensional in the pass game. You have to more kind of take a look at this one. You want to make them have to get into the pass game if they can to keep you off their running back, and and you got to wrap him up, take him down. Arm tackling's not going to get it done with this kid. He's a bit of a bowling ball type. I heard Kip talking about, man, he see a big pile of dudes and he squirts out the other side, you know. The spread shrunk a lot. Yeah, that means that it's getting bet down. That means it's getting bet down, and that's because at 10.5, I think is what it started at. I heard it. What is it at now? We can go to my bookie real quick and check it. Check it here. Oh man. Man, they're making me do that stupid verify you're a human by putting up a bunch of pictures. I hate that. Yeah, so it's down to 6.5 and it opened at 10.5. I know the other day. So yeah, it definitely has shrunk it a lot. Definitely has. T Boomer, Crucifix Autumn. What's up? What's up? Zofix? More worried about the LSU game. Mizzou is ranked, and people are talking about this game next week. We could get lost in all the rivalry. Um, yeah. Look, I would tell you that in watching the Red Dirt Rambles show with Caden Helms and Kip Lewis, I watched it as I was coming in last night. Um, I would just tell you that from what they're, this is a team that, I didn't realize that I'd heard something about it, but not to the extent that they talked about it. There was a team meeting, to a players only meeting before the Tennessee game where they were just like, look, this it's got to be better, and what is it that basically like you're playing for your life here, and no more time for excuses, no more time, sounded like it was real deal. And he said usually they'd have some of these, and you might get one or two guys that would get up and talk. They had 7 or 8 guys that stood up and made a comment about what it was time for them to do, and that was right before I guess Kevin Wilson had spoken to the team as well, a couple of days before that, so or maybe a day before that or whatever. Um, that tells you that they have a sense of urgency about them, and that makes I mean, that checks out with the way that they've played on the field, that they've been playing with a sense of urgency, um, on the road. I mean, look, I don't think that there's any way to overstate what they've done in these last 2 games as far as to come out there and be able to win on the road like that, and particularly when you think about the Tennessee game, it didn't look good at first. They were giving up big gaping plays and that kind of stuff. Then they started forcing these turnovers, and these turnovers have been key for sure. Um, but yeah, uh, have I moved? Kind of. I'm in the mobile studio there, Ryan. Good to see you, man. In the mobile studio, man. I've been kind of moving around a lot. So I was in Tuscaloosa last week. Just got back to Oklahoma. I just kind of puttered around back and forth. I had some stuff I had to work on. I had to take the camper back in and have them do some stuff, for the under kind of warranty stuff. But yeah, thanks. Offense figures it out. This team can make a big run. Absolutely, absolutely. But and listen, Kyle, I would tell you that the offense has to figure it out. Um, you know, I think we've made a lot of it. You know what I mean? I think I've made a lot of it, and it's out of concern. It's out of concern. I love the way that they're playing together and the way they feel about each other, and what they're doing. Look, I think you have to give a little more credit to Alabama and their defense than I was kind of given to it probably this week. But that I have a 53-inch vertical? Yeah, I wish, bro. If that was the case, I would probably be a old former athlete. I'm a former athlete, but it was a high school athlete, so no. No, no. 53-inch, huh? No. I'm a little taller than 53 inches, so I can't jump over myself, tell you that much. I can't. I got more like a credit card vertical, bro. That vertical like a credit card. You ever heard that? Shout out to Casey's for my coffee this morning. Darn good. It's darn good. What's up there, Cherry Bear or Sooner Lemon? Got back to his old name. We're going to hit a few deep balls this week. We need to. We need to. Look, that's what. Look, I know one thing is they're going to play good defense. They put a lot of pressure as well. They've got a nice defensive front. Their secondary's been a little more suspect, I guess, if you look at it. In the end, I would tell you that you kind of have to look at it as you're going to have to just go out there and do what you need to do. Cherry Bear, my man. Look at that. Give some membership to Kevin. Welcome. Welcome in, Kevin. Didn't see you in there. Check in with us. The loose leaf vert. Yes, that one. Same thing. Last we completed a deep pass was at home against Ole Miss. I feel like we're going to do it again tomorrow. Look, I think you need to. I think you need to, right? Yeah, it is. Well, thank you for the donation, my man. Appreciate that a lot. You can also become a member of the Hall of Fame college football family. But, right there, you just go down. It's right next to the little like button. So if you hit subscribe there or become a member, you can do it for as low as $2.99 a month, get you into the Discord, get you our any of our members only content as well. Let's see. Yeah, I switched back to your Cherry Bear moniker. You switch back and forth all the time. Sometimes it takes a while, even like whenever I switch a headline or change like a thumbnail, it won't change for a while though either. So you never know. Where were we? Last we completed a deep pass. Look, I think they got to be willing to go down the field. And if you're going to do that, and look, I'm not going to get into just bashing on Mateer or any of that kind of stuff at this point. I think it's beating a dead horse. But you wanted to bet Mizzou money line for insurance purposes, but at only plus 200, nah. Yeah, I have a hard time thinking they're going to win. I could see them covering. I don't really see. I mean, look, there's some other things that play that. We'll get back to that, Kyle. But talking about this situation at quarterback and at my concern is that you continue to see him running out of clean pockets and into trouble. You saw it on a number of dropbacks last week where he, 3-man rush and they're not penetrating through the O line at all. And to me, that's either that's one of those deals where in the RPO you probably hand the ball off there, or either that or you're sitting back there waiting to throw because you got time. But he's leaving within 2 seconds and running into trouble. So that's the concern with me, is that he's still not seeing the field as well as you'd like him to do. It's a concern, Let's see what's going on with my guy here. I'm supposed to have a guest on here. You don't like sticking with one name? Yeah. Hey, that's kind of how the criminals do it, bro. You never know. If it would be at plus 300 just to keep my sanity, being I'm most likely missing the game. Man, it's tough though betting against your own team. That's one of them games you just got to leave it alone. And there's plenty of ways that you can bet, through my bookie and not have to bet that stuff, Kyle, and hate yourself if you're right. You know what I mean? Don't hate yourself if you're right. Look, let's go through some of this. You got Florida State on the road giving 6.5. And that's a plus 189 for money line for NC State. Unless that new quarterback got hurt, why would you not trust in them to maybe get a win there? North Carolina State is, they're generally pretty decent. That's a bet that I'm on. That's definitely a bet that I'm on. One of the first ones I looked at. And then Louisville, SMU, Louisville's getting 3. I mean, I don't know. I might loop those 2. I think Louisville wins that game. I don't see them winning or playing 2 bad weeks in a row. Virginia Tech getting 18 with Miami. I mean, could you see? I mean, that's plus 680 right there. You want to go for a long shot? That's plus 680, bro. But yeah, he has. He has. It's definitely been it's a concern. It's a concern without a doubt. But I also think, I mean, we saw a different version of Mantier in the second half against Tennessee. The hope is that you find him again, right? He's got to make the better decision. It didn't seem like he was making the right decision in the RPO game often. If it's not, look, if you can't count to 6, that's troublesome right away. Come to the line. If it's below 6 guys in the box, you hand the ball off. It's nothing. That just means it's guaranteed that's what you do. You know what I mean? It's a no-brainer. We talked about this with Jackson Arnold a little bit last year, like in the Tennessee game where he was making the wrong decision in the RPO every play. Um, I don't understand why you're not handing the ball off more. Now you have an issue where you've got some guys hurt. So, what are we going to see from whoever comes in? Is it going to be Jaden Ott? I don't know. Is it going to be, uh, you would expect maybe a little bit of Taylor Tatum, um, Sawchuck, little Sawchuck. Maybe we get a little bit of him. Um, I would suspect that you're gonna have to go that way more, but you gotta make the right decisions in it to start with, or else you're kind of in a bad way. With a 3-man box or a 3-man rush anyway, you should have been handing the ball off on a couple of those plays where he's running out of the pocket and there's still nobody back there. Now that leaves you 8 guys dropped into coverage, obviously, but it's zone coverage. You gotta sit down in the right part of the zone if you're one of those receivers and let him find you. But in order to do that as John Mateer, you gotta sit back there and wait for those dudes to do that, right? Don't leave the pocket until you get pushed out of it, if that makes sense. I mean, in the end, look, as long as they're not turning the football over, the defense is gonna put you in a position to win. End of story. Because they're gonna, hopefully they continue forcing these turnovers. And with a guy like, this is a true freshman quarterback you're playing against. You get pressure on him, chances are he's gonna find a way to turn the football over. I mean, you just have to expect that. Um, and they've been the defense has been really aggressive, trying to punch balls out, things like that. So we'll kind of see how everything rolls. Truoki says, I can't say he had some good throws in the Bama game, like the escape to the right pass. Yeah, listen, he completed that 3rd and 13. Um, a couple of big third down completions. They only went 3 of 13 in that. Um, yeah, Barnes is checked out. I don't know if he's checked out or they decided to take him out and make him redshirt because it doesn't sound like he was in the good graces of anybody but maybe DeMarco. I don't know why. I thought while he was playing, he was fine. He was fine. What's up there, Rob077 or Robert Cotton? They're changing the way they're doing things on YouTube, I guess. So yeah, I don't know if he's checked out or if that was just and the plan is for him to redshirt out here. Um, which I think that's fair. Barnes hasn't he had a lot of injuries over those couple of years, and I think that he kind of got out of the good graces of the fan base for sure. But I'm with you. He was blocking his ass off, and he was the one guy that was there consistently throughout the spring, along with Torrey Blaylock. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Torrey back in a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see X Rob, but Torrey he's played through that shoulder issue all year, so it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me. see what we got here. Well, I was hoping we're gonna get a guy in here, but I do not see him. I don't know what's going on. Scoop is entertaining the idea of OU getting a what? Of getting a go. Oh, yeah. You think we're in trouble? Why? Why? Why would that be? Look, there's no denying that he was, a good player coming in. I think that he had some injury issues. I'm not gonna get into everything that I've heard, and I know a lot of the things that you probably heard. I think he just had a hard time, um, kind of fitting in, after he got here, got hurt too early. So, we'll see. He hadn't done anything yet. He hadn't done anything yet. I'll give you that. And that's why I really haven't talked about him. And until you see him out there doing anything, I don't know that I would put it. But that being said, hey, look, I think it's easy for us to sit here on the outside looking in, thinking that we know what's up. You know, some things get leaked out on purpose, that so that you feel the way you feel and all that kind of stuff. But don't believe that everything that you hear coming out of there because you don't know. You don't know for sure, and everything that was going on. Look, did he pan out to be the guy that everybody expected him to be? No. No, he hasn't. And, apparently they paid him quite a bit of money to get him in here. So, in the end, I would say that I would remind everybody that he was a take for anybody if that would have happened, right? Yeah, man, those look pretty awesome. What up, Greg Ray? Um, Lucas James says the renderings for the West Side Stadium project looks pretty badass, right? It's gonna be cool. Going to be cool. Yeah, you want to? Let's see. In about but in an hour? Okay. Um, yeah, if you want to come in, let me shoot you the link to your email real quick. Or make sure, hey, send me an email to the just to make sure I have the right one. Because I think yours might be the one that I haven't been able to email the polls to. Send me your email and I'll shoot it to you. Yeah. Yeah, he's not a very willing blocker, I'll say that. Not a very willing blocker. Well, I mean, Kyle, you reading somebody's body language on the sideline, you don't know what's going on down there. Um, I mean, I know body language and stuff like that from past careers and things like that, but it's tough just on the sideline and what you think is going on down there. And I know that you haven't heard a ton of stuff about attitude or anything like that because it hadn't been out there. It hadn't been out there. And I think that if anything, I think this is what it was, is that injuries can mess with you. You know what? Something that Caden Helms talked about on that Red Dirt show last night was that when he got back, he was worried this past year when he got back from his second injury that he was concerned about getting hurt again. And so he was glad that made him a better blocker because he didn't really wanna run routes the same way as he had before. It was a mental stumble that he had to get over. He talks about it. Look, it's something that it's easy to sit here and just go bashing on these kids. You don't know enough to make blanket statements like that. You know what I mean? And you shouldn't do that anyway because you never know. You never know, and we don't know what's going on there. I mean, I've heard some of the same stuff I know you guys have heard, and it's easy to get in coach's doghouse, right? It's easy to get in coach's doghouse, but in the end, you go with what you go with, and it is what it is. Kewan Lacey's who we should have got. That's not true either. Christopher Shannon, his freshman year, he had like 800 yards. It was his sophomore year that he had the huge season. And then he had 400 yards this past year before he came to Oklahoma. Go look at the entirety of his stuff. He's been injured. He's been injured. Yeah, I do. I was gonna say that. I'm gonna have to see a lot more. Do I think that's gonna happen? No, I don't. Why would you hard pass on Levitt? Have you seen what that guy's done? Bishop, where are you at? Are you working or what? Ah, crap. Sent that to the wrong spot. All right, we're not going to do this negativity stuff today. Not doing it. Not going to sit here and do it. They're in line to get into the playoff. Okay? Go out there and handle your business. You know what? This would be a perfect opportunity for him to shut people like you up. You know? Come on, Bishop. It's in your I just texted it to you. I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. I mean, that's where I'm at with it too. I think Hawkins is fine. He's ready. But I know that I'm in the minority when it comes to some of the folks in here about that stuff. That being said, I mean, do you have your camera or no, Bishop? No, no, no. You're good. If not, if it's okay, if not, hold on. Okay. Welcome into the show, Bishop Frank. What's up, man?
What's good? What's good? What's shaking? Hey, you guys, leave no doubt. They've been talking wolf.
They've been woofing.
They've been woofing. I'm talking about they were pulling up stuff from when Stoney was being recruited.
What?
Yes, that's all right. They coming to the palace. They know what time it
They're
is.
talking that yang, huh?
Jason, you already know.
That's what they've been doing. Apparently, I don't know what's going on with this damn roadcaster, but I'm not getting any output on my headphones, so it's coming out of the computer though.
There you go.
Uh, yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of them deals where I feel like it's they've been talking that shit, man. This is Mizzou fans for you. They've been talking lots of shit. They think they're all that. They have thought they're all that. And all the shit that Drink had to say about Coach Stoops after the game last year, which was kind of weird in view of the fact that there was clearly bad blood between him and the OU staff. I think that has a lot to do with Caden Green. It has a lot to do with some of the shit that was going on in recruiting, and some of the stuff that was being said about him. So I think that, yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise you, and then look at the way Theo was acting after he caught that touchdown pass.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what time it is. Hey, it's too much on the line. Hey, they can come into the palace, but the palace will be lit.
Yeah,
eternally lit.
yeah. I mean, you got Bevo's bodyguard coming in here running his mouth as usual. But, but that looks more like that score of your game with, Georgia last week there, Bevo. You know, gagging it away as per the usual. Sark still gonna be around for, bowl season or what? When y'all get into the ReliaQuest Bowl? It appears to be it's probably almost for surely gonna be, Matt Zollers that plays, I would think. Yeah, there you go. There's the number that you need to be talking about there, Bevo. 35 T. So, neither of the last 2 games for OU is a night game, which is crappy. I'm surprised that they're doing all that shit, you know what I mean? I'm surprised that they're doing all that shit, but I don't think it really matters at this point. You go out there and you gotta handle your business whether it's day or night. You gotta go out there and handle your business, and I think no matter what, the team knows it. They know where they're at. They've known where they were at for the last 2 weeks, going on the road with big wins like they just got in the last 2 games against ranked opponents, unlike, you know, Bevo's boys there from Austin. All that shit coming in as the number 1 seed, probably gonna go out at 8-4 at best. That'll be hilarious in the cheesesteak bowl. I love how the shit talking turns to Texas no matter what. We must beat Mizzou this year. I can't live with another year listening to their shit. Hey, man, Sooner in Texas, I'm with you, man. Sure. Lots of shit talking. And Drink is insufferable whenever he wins. So, yeah, can't be having it. Definitely can't be having it. Favorite games are afternoon games? I tell you, I like the afternoon game deal with in Alabama. Because you're able to, I mean, there's plenty of time to get up. They had the homecoming parade and everything, and then they do their walk or whatever, and it was a great atmosphere all day. I mean, they have the little pop up tents and everything where the beer garden or whatever you call it. Um, you know, seems like it was right, but yeah, yeah, that's cool. Good for you, man. You're still going to be sitting at home while Oklahoma's in the playoff. Then what?
It's funny that Bevo has a lot to say after losing to Georgia like he did.
Yeah, I mean, dragged, just fucking dragged. Dragged. Shameful. Shameful. All that talent that he's been bitching and talking about. All that talent. Is Hawkins going to get some run? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, just so we understand, I'm not the only one that's been saying stuff like that, but, Mac was talking about getting him uh, some kind of a package or something, for this game or whatever like that, which I think would be smart. I think it would be smart. So we'll see what's going to happen. Why don't you run along there, Bevo? We'll find you something to do.
Bevo, you know what's so
We're
funny?
playing traffic.
You keep coming over here. You ain't even in the scene.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they've been looking for at what they're doing. I think they should. You wouldn't give him run unless he's hurt or having an absolute horrible game. I What the hell would you be waiting on, True Okie? Why would you wait? You can't lose his red shirt at this point. Even just giving somebody another look, because to me, I think it's the offense has become kind of stale, and you kind of know what's coming. Uh, just me, but Whatever, man. Whatever. I think they should have as well. I think he should have been playing at least the 2 games that he should have played, probably should have been the last 2. But, they got him done, so it's no big deal. I'm not gonna get into all this though, man. It is what it is. I mean, that we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Mizzou.
Yeah, it is red shirt it is secured. He can play in both of these next 2 games and still be a red shirt. You have to play in a 5th game before you lose. No, 5 games burns it. You can play in 4. See, man, Kyle always in here talking. Yeah, bro, get it right. Sheesh. What up, Unc? What you up to, man? What up?
What up with you, Jay?
Oh man, hey, I'm looking. I thought I had a special guest coming in, but I guess he ain't gonna make it. I haven't seen anything back from him.
Yeah, because I'm a feeling.
That's all right though. That's all right
Yeah,
though. What are you seeing in this game? What's
man.
I had you come in for a reason. What's your thought? I mean, Mod Hardy's been a bad dude, bro.
I I I think though, with that said, with as much bad blood behind the scenes and understanding that they're running into the teeth of what we do best is stop the run. Make it one
This is a
dimensional.
little different though, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
admit this is different.
But that's okay. If you're gonna make the playoffs, this is what you need to go through. Because it'll
He
put
certainly
all.
has Kip's attention. He certainly
Yeah,
has Kip's attention.
yep,
So 300 yards will do that, though. 300 rushing yards against an SEC team will do that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
But here's the thing about it is that uh, we know they can run the ball, but have they faced a D line like ours, where they have to really be on their P's and Q's to get that running game up and going? We will find out at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning.
yeah,
But I still say that my 3 keys are the O line, D line, the tight ends. I still feel that we're underutilizing our tight ends, and then make sure the secondary and everybody on linebackers are cued in to make sure they don't get any easy pop pass or trick plays and get lackadaisical because they feature the run. You do that, we can win this game, but we got to put it all together.
yeah. Definitely got to put it together. I think it's time for you to just step up and get. Look, you got to continue going. I'm not saying that you got to switch quarterbacks either, Kyle. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they should have some packages and stuff like that. If they were going to do that, they should have done it certainly for Texas. They could have done it for even, I would have done it for Texas for sure, and probably for Ole Miss even, or maybe even South Carolina or whatever. But give Material more time to get healthy for sure and see what you get. But they didn't. Once they didn't do that, I was, and he still wasn't playing great. I would have put him in the last 2 games that were so important. But, not necessarily as a starter, but at some point, whenever they're not playing well, you go with somebody else, similar to what they did last year whenever Jackson looked so bad in the first half against Tennessee. You know, uh, again, none of that happened. None of that happened. So, I mean, we can sit here and talk about it all day long, but none of that shit happened. And at this point, you got to kind of look at it as okay, well, they made their decision on what they were going to do, and I think at this point, you're going to roll with what you got. Maybe they have a package for him now that they can't lose his red shirt at this point. I mean, maybe so. I think the bigger question is what's gonna happen next season, is whether or not they bring Mateer back, especially at that number of $3.5 million, which is the number that we've heard multiple times, or I've heard multiple times. Um, it is what it is, right? But how
Yeah,
bad is Mississippi State's defense? It hasn't been that bad, but
yeah.
I don't know.
But see,
It hadn't been up until this game, but they
mhm.
gave up lots of it this week. Go
It's
ahead.
also predicated on what running backs are able to go, be a full go as well, that can press the hole.
Yeah, I think you're gonna get what you get from the running backs at this point too. You know, I what we've seen when we've seen them be good in the running game has been when they spread it out like Gabe was talking about weeks ago, right? After the Texas game, when they were talking about why are you expecting these tight ends to make key blocks, the key block for you to
Right.
spring one of these running backs instead of spreading them out, getting guys like Anthony Hill out of the box, you know?
Facts.
And I think that you have to look at that, these guys, where you're getting at this point, you should be able to do that with everything spread out because you're not seeing even the safeties are creeping back. They're not going to give up the deep ball because they don't think you're going to throw it. Or I mean, they've been creeping up a little bit because you've been running it more, but you're running it to I think that that's the other thing. If you really want this running game to work, you need to spread it out, but you need to attempt to make a throw down the field. They haven't done it in a while.
Facts.
Throw the freaking ball. And again, when you're not really pressured in the backfield, or at least you weren't against Oklahoma or Alabama at all. eh, He was running into pressure, so that's where it's like, look, man, throw the damn ball down the field. And I think with a guy like Giovanni it looks like Giovanni's still kind of getting back to himself from the broken leg. It doesn't look like he has the burst that he had before the injury, which you can see that. But why not put in guys like, Elijah Thomas or, and certainly a guy like
Carry
Ivan
on.
Carrion, who at 6'7", you can throw the ball up to his ass and let him go get it. 50-50 balls are not a 50-50 for him. He's 6'7". Throw the fucking ball up, you know? But you have to be willing to do that. And if he's hurried and just trying to get out of there, that's the issue with me. I'm worried about that. You got to stay in the pocket and throw it. And not be leaving before you're actually made to leave. So the happy feet thing is a little concerning. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. But as far as that goes, I think that if they don't find some semblance of an offense, and I'm not saying you got to go out there and score 40 or even 35. I think if you get to 28, even 24, 28 points, you got a chance to win. If you can score 24 with your offense, I mean, you're giving up what, 15 a game,
Definitely.
you
Definitely.
know? You should
Especially with
win.
this defense. Especially with this defense when they
Absolutely.
make
And
their
it seems like they're
adjustments.
getting better, Bishop, right? They're getting
Yeah,
better from week
absolutely.
3.
Absolutely. That secondary is tightening up. You noticed this last game. If anybody that could have exploited it was Bama, and they had a tough time in the second half once we made our adjustments.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, in true Oak, you bring in Ivan Carrion in the red zone, getting one-on-one with the corner and throw 1 or 2 jump balls in the end zone for him. I agree, and I think you could do that. You could do that in, 3rd and long situations as well. You know what I mean? Just give him an opportunity. And if you don't do that, then Sategna, you start bracketing Sategna, and you've been able to hit Deion Burks some, but Deion Burks doesn't make anybody miss. He hasn't in a while, you know? Um, I just think I don't think it's a receiver issue. I don't know why you hadn't been seeing Kanik very much either. But, you know, offense just needs 1 or 2 TDs a game, and they're solid. Yeah, and especially when you start thinking about the kicking game and stuff. I mean, look, our guy's been money. Money. So, that's another beautiful thing. If you could get a couple of touchdowns, you need to get at least 2 touchdowns out of him every game, and really 3. But, you know, if you're getting a couple of field goals as well, and I mean, shit, he's good inside of freaking 60. He's good inside of 60, bro. I
That's
mean,
a weapon.
shit, it's a
That
weapon.
joker is a weapon.
And it doesn't matter where the hell he's at. The ice water is running through that kid's veins. He's just money. So I think Burks is look, he catches the football. I'm not hating on Burks. I think he's been a little underwhelming. It seems like he runs right into the first tackler. That's all. I would have thought that he would be more explosive as far as catching the ball on the perimeter wherever and making guys miss, and then you're gone. All you gotta do, should you make one guy miss, you're out of there when you got speed like that. He doesn't make the first guy miss ever. It doesn't seem like. But I don't know. Bird Ficklin end up next year. Man, I'd like it if he was going to end up at Oklahoma, but I don't know if he is. I think they like him at Utah. I don't know. He's from here though. I mean, I could see
Yeah.
him ending up at OU. It
That
just
kid is
depends.
fun. That kid is unreal.
He's real good. He was good in high school. Hey, and you know what? Shout out to, and where the hell is he, by the way? But shout out to Trap House Boomin'. He was on his ass all the last few years, talking about him, about how good Bird was. He was scouting him out, man. He was watching all his film, pushing him out there, wondering why Oklahoma wasn't after him. And you know what? You got to say the size was probably a piece of that because he's not very big. But his speed is legit, and his arm is legit. Legit. Hammer, where'd you yeah, he's a playmaker, brother. He is.
No.
And they've been I think they've been better with him. Utah's been better with him than they were just with Devin Dampier. So,
Dampier is healthy, and they haven't changed.
yeah, they haven't gone back to him. Mhm. See, and that's the thing. If you've got a starting position, do you come back to OU, or if you're not the starter? No. Why would you? I'm guessing he probably sticks around one more year in Utah. I don't think he is a playmaker though. You ain't wrong, Hammer. Man, y'all, the names have got me all screwed up. Everybody's is different, or not everybody's, but some of them are different.
Yeah, I know.
Got me all mad. Oh, yeah. What happened? Just not seeing the link. Hell, I sent it twice, bruh. Come on.
I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and go, bro. Do
All
your
right, man.
thing, man.
All right, bro. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you, Bishop. Bishop Frank, as always good to hear him. You know, he's always got some good insight into it. I think our special guest may be coming in. We'll see. All right. Took Brennan New or however, yeah, New. Yeah. I like that kid though. I like that kid. Like I said, he's got a live arm. He's a little small, a little undersized, right? But he's got a live arm. And he was looking at going to Utah or and I guess Buckle was on him for Washington State also. But Utah was on him pretty heavy, and then he had committed to Oklahoma State, but That wasn't going to stick no matter what. Yeah, they need to do something with him. They need to do something with him. I'm going to take a quick break here. I got to use the restroom. I'll be right back with you guys. Well, maybe if I can find that damn thing. Are you tired of your game day gear looking like it's stuck in the offseason? Well, step up your fandom with Hall of Fame College Football's official Fanatics partner store. Whether you're a diehard Oklahoma Sooners fan like myself, bleeding Crimson and Cream, or you rep another one of the SEC's heavy hitters, Fanatics has you covered. Shop thousands of officially licensed hats, jerseys, sideline polos, and exclusive championship merch from the entire Power 4 and Group of 6 too, all shipped directly to your doorstep and fast. Want to gear up like your favorite coaches and players? Are you looking for that perfect tailgate tee or a statement piece for your man cave? Fanatics is your one-stop shop for authentic college football gear from everybody that plays the game. So do yourself and your team a favor. Click our link in the description or simply log on to hofmedia.us/fanatics. That's hofmedia.us/fanatics. And you can shop everything that you want for the best prices of the day right on our Fanatics partner page. Hey, Jason Watkins here with Hall of Fame College Football. And if you are ready to back your favorite team, the Sooners, and fade that Texas hype train every Saturday this fall, there's only one place to do it, MyBookie. Right now, you can double your first deposit up to $1,000 when you sign up at hofmedia.us/mybookie1000. That's hofmedia.us/mybookie1000. Yep, 100% deposit bonus, and it takes less than 5 minutes to get started. Whether you're betting college football, rolling the dice in the online casino, or dropping a 10-leg parlay on SEC Chaos, MyBookie has everything you need. Bet anytime, anywhere, on the go, at the tailgate, or yelling at the refs from your couch. Just don't talk trash. Put your money where your mouth is. Hit that link, hofmedia.us/mybookie1000, and get your deposit bonus today. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie and Hall of Fame College Football. All right. Hyping up what? Huh? Like it's AD. Shit, I wish it was AD. That would be dope. But I'm glad about my special guest, too. I mean, he's cool. I think you guys will like him. I know a lot of people already do. So let's see. I just want to see that deep touch pass down the sideline to Burks and Satania. Getting Keontae's back will help as well. Seems to have good chemistry with Material. He does. He does. Yeah, you know, what? Camper note equals paid. I didn't have a note on it. Or did you just pay one off or what? What up, Smook? Done. I think I'm done with the polls there, Brandon. I think I'm done with the polls. Nobody was doing them. It was becoming a waste of my time. What up with Coach Smook? He was in there talking it up today. He's got a troll that goes in there like those other dudes do. Hold on real quick and I'll bring you in there. Just 1 second. Rob, let me change you out with the Bishop deal. Welcome into the show, Rob077 from Mizzou. What up, man?
What's going on, Jason?
How you doing today?
Oh, not too bad. It's wet here. Just got back from the grocery store with the wife. That's why it was taking me so long to get back. So sorry for
Right
the
on.
delay.
What are your thoughts about this game, man?
Well, for all the Sooner fans out there, let me say this up front. Hit the damn like button. Subscribe. Main's trying to get to 5K. Come on. And I don't think Mizzou's actually going to win this game. They haven't won there since before I was born, and I was born in 1970. So that tells you it's been a while.
I think that was the thing. It's been a while since you've seen them win back to back, and they don't win very often in Norman for sure. But I mean, hell, it'd been a decade since we'd played going into last year, wasn't it? Somewhere around 10 years or more. So
Yeah, I think that 2011, I think, was the last time
yeah, so
we
even more than
played.
that. Yeah, yeah. So I
So
mean,
it's
none of these kids know a damn thing about the old days, and don't care about it. So it's one of those deals where you've gotta figure that Drink talks that shit, man. He has them believing in themselves, and rightfully so. I mean, he's recruited well. They run the hell out of the ball. Ahmad Hardy is a bad dude. Ahmad Hardy's a bad dude. I think you're gonna. I mean, obviously, this isn't Mississippi State's defensive front, but it's you don't want to let him get going. That's for sure.
no, you don't want to let that guy go on. Was he's 5'9", 207 or something like that? So he's got low
Bowling
center of
ball is what I
gravity.
was saying. He's a bowling ball.
He don't have much of a target to hit. I mean, you could try to hit his big thick legs. I think his legs are as big around as my torso, and I'm not some skinny guy. So uh, that's why that guy keeps on going. Have you noticed all the great running backs that are like that have thick thighs?
Oh yeah, yeah. In college for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so yeah, you guys got to stop him, and I think you guys will slow him down. I don't. Could he get to 100, 110? Yeah, he could because uh, you guys have led up a 60-yard run here and there, and he could probably get a 60, but if he's rushing
Well,
30
that
times
was.
and he gets 110 yards, and one of them's for 60 yards, you guys did a great job.
Yeah, I think that you're talking about the Justice Haynes run. That was miscommunication, more than
Yeah.
anything. And it was the crowd was so loud on a first down coming out of the half that Cortland got sucked in on that side and they couldn't call him off of it. So it was one of those deals where it was kind of about that. Hold on real quick while I bring it in. Give me just 1 second there, my man.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, he just that's one of them deals where he got kind of sucked in and Peyton Bowen was screaming at him to get him, off of that out of that area over there. And he couldn't hear him because Oklahoma's fan base was so loud. It's wild, and they were kind of talking about that on that other show last night too, about how it was, it became it's harder for the Oklahoma. It seems like at home for the defense because it's loud for the offense, and on the road it's different, right?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of a different deal, but I think it's a big deal. What do you say the key is for Mizzou to be able to come in and win?
Uh, the issue they've had this year is with turnovers. They can't turn the ball over. You, I don't care if it's they're giving the ball up on Oklahoma's 30, they get down there and give it away, or if they give it up on their own 30, you can't be giving the ball away anywhere. That's the key with anybody, but you can't give up, more than you don't want to give up one, let alone two turnovers. Um, you got to be able to establish some sort of passing game. 15 attempts, if you get 15 attempts in and you can complete 65% of them, uh, try to keep Oklahoma honest because Oklahoma's D line is legit, and their front seven. If they just played Mizzou straight up, and Missouri starts to eat a little bit on them, and they can stack the box, then you're going to force, then you're going to be forced to pass the ball. Then what are you going to be able to do then? So it's going to be very difficult for them. Like I said, I don't think Missouri's winning this game. I think it might be close. It could be a 28-24 game. It could be a
If you don't force
slobber
them to get
knocker.
into a passing game, I think you're right. I think it would be
Yeah.
close if you don't force them to get in the passing game, because if you're not able to stop the run, they're running on you. That means that you can't really tee off on this freshman and get him into mistakes, right?
Yeah, and I think Oklahoma really needs to use their defense for their offense, because offensively, Missouri might give up a little bit, but Missouri is pretty good defensively, and
They are. They are.
they're gonna cause headache. They're gonna cause OU to have headaches offensively, and that's why you got to have Oklahoma get those turnovers, give them short fields. The kicking game is going to be a big factor. If it comes down to a 12, 13 to the 9 game, and you guys are going to have the kicker to make those long field goals, So
Thank
I
God
think
for
it's going
that.
to be a close game, but it also could turn out to be, for 2.5 quarters, it's a close game, and then it just, kind of like that Texas A&M game, it just kind of goes away for us. Oklahoma just pulls away at the end, and ends up being 35-17, and it's a closer game than it looks, but then again, it may not be a close game at all.
Yehuda Sim says OU scores 24 on 8 Tate Sandell field goals. Hey,
That would be
Rob, I got my guest
something.
coming in now, man. He's here, so let me. I appreciate you coming in and talking it up with us a little bit. I think you're right. I think that OU's going to have to kind of get their stuff together, as far as you're going to have to shut down the run, but I think you got to play better offense than you've been in order to really salt this game away. We'll see how it
And
goes.
to all those other Mizzou fans out there talking, puffing their chest out, man, you guys are just,
I love it. Keep
yeah, I
it
know you're
going.
like it. Well, I liked it when you would like on Monday's broadcast, man. I love that you guys were getting into it. That's great. Watching Sooner fans get so bent out of shape. It's great.
Oh yeah. That was Well, whatever. Anyway,
All right, man. I hear you. All right, you guys
appreciate
have a
you
good
coming in, Rob.
rest of the show,
All
man.
right, man. Later. All right, man. Got
See
my
you guys.
next guest coming right in. We'll go right to it. Welcome into the show from No Fakin Sports. Our guy, David. What's up,
up,
man?
bro?
How you been? David Kincade. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
Good, man. I've been hoping to get you in here for a while now.
Yes, sir. My I guess we got some of the same followers because they've been putting you in my mentions over and over and over. So that's why I reached out to you.
Yeah, same, man. It was kind of the same. I had a lot of people talking about should get you on the show, so glad
Yes,
we were
sir.
able to do that.
Awesome.
Did we tarp the field this time? My gun sweetness, I hope to hell they have a tarp now. We'll see though. Hey man, let's talk first. I mean, we'll get into this week with Mizzou. But tell me what you thought about this Alabama game last week. Obviously, little concerning the way they played offensively, but defensively they seem to get better week to week, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's really tough watching this offense. It just is. I mean, John Material over the last 5 games, we talked about this, but he's only thrown 2 touchdown passes. I know that he's had some rushing touchdowns, but I'd rather give those to my running backs. You know how I feel about that. I just
Yeah.
not a big fan of the quarterback run as part of your base offense. Can you use it in some situations? Yeah, you can. But just to be calling quarterback run 10 times a game, I'm not a fan of that at all, brother.
It feels like it's gotten kind of stale at this point. Like everybody's kind of expecting it.
And it's really not that, like, he's not really doing a lot from it aside from 1 or 2 plays a game. He's really getting stuffed a lot of the times on those QB run calls.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like, well, and I guess if I was going to talk about that a little bit from last week, my concern was seeing him with a 3-man rush and he's running out of a clean pocket into trouble, a
Yeah.
number of times. And if there's a three down lineman, that means you're not going to have more than 5 guys in the box. And most of the time you only had 3 to 4. So why are you not just handing the ball off there in the RPO? Hand the fucking ball off. And I'm not a big RPO guy, but
I hate it.
here's the thing. In the end, that's what they run. Count to 6, bro. Be able to count to 6. So I think that at some point we're gonna have to see him be better than what he's been lately if they're gonna continue to win.
The problem with the RPO is defensive coaches have gotten so good at disguising what they're doing after the snap. They're showing you a pre-snap look because they know you're an RPO team, and then they're changing it post-snap. They're jumping in those slants and a lot of that stuff. That's why I have a lot of people say, hey, John Mateer's holding the ball too long. Well, they're changing the coverage post-snap, and he's just not reading it very well.
Yeah. Brandon Snake says John Mateer looks better. Maybe he's 100% healthy, not 100% confident. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, that would be a huge plus. I don't disagree with you at all there. You got to make sure that you hold on to the ball. But here's the thing. At this point, if your offense isn't putting up points, then that means that your margin for error as far as turning the football over, no matter who you are, is 0 now. Because
our defense has put up points the last 2 games.
Correct. And can
without
you
those
expect
points,
that every
we would have
week?
lost both games. And you can't expect that every week because if everybody remembers at the beginning of the year, we had a very hard time getting turnovers. We didn't get a turnover until I think it was after the Texas game. What was the first game we got a turnover?
No, I think Kent State was.
Yeah. Okay.
But basically, I mean, yeah, they didn't. And then after that, it was South Carolina. They got a couple, and then they got one from Ole Miss. One from Ole Miss.
And as far as this game goes, I don't want to get down on the team as far as the offense goes. Honestly, I don't think this game's going to be close. Their strength against our strength, as far as running the football, nobody runs the football on us.
That's true.
Nobody. Michigan,
especially, and if you don't have the threat of pass, then why aren't we just gonna load up the box on you?
Our freshman quarterback that's not a 5-star. I mean, you got to look at what we did to Michigan. As much as we confused them, and he's nowhere near as good as Michigan's quarterback.
No.
We can't turn the ball over. They are pretty good defensively, but as far as their offense, man, this might be a 0 ball. They might not score unless they get a turnover for a touchdown. I don't see Missouri scoring. They are not very good. They have done well as far as stats against lower competition, but when they have played the good competition, they haven't fared well at all. I mean, they went into overtime with Auburn.
Right. At home, I guess, against Alabama was 27-24. But they kind of blew their opportunities there. They had, they were about to go up they were about to get Alabama off the field. It seems like they get a lot of stupid penalties and stuff like that for, just stuff where they don't have discipline. And I've noticed that a lot over the past few years with them. Now, what they are is this is one of those teams that is going to bring physicality to you for sure. They definitely play with physicality, but I would think that I'm a little more concerned than I think you are right now. I don't know about zeroing them out. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's coming off a 300-yard game, but what are you going to get from him? I mean, if he gets 100,
that's against Mississippi State.
That's true. That's fair.
Come on, man. Let's be real. That's Mississippi State.
He's got 1,300 yards on the year. He's been very good though. So it's one of those deals where I think that for the most part, you need to corral him, right? But in watching, I was watching the Red Dirt Rambles guys last night, and Kip Lewis, I mean, they're well aware of him. They're like, hey, he had 300 this last week, and that was just rush. So they're knowing that they're looking for him. It's not like he's sneaking up on anybody. That's for sure, right?
Is he a good running back? Yes. Can he do enough of that for them to sustain a drive to go all the way down the field? Hell no, not against our defense. And what I would say about the Alabama game, Alabama has played terribly on the road all year.
True.
Alabama, every game that Alabama had on the road, they squeaked by 3 points. They haven't dominated anybody on the road. So, I mean, like I
Yeah,
said,
I
they
mean,
lost
I think it's a
38-17
little
touchdown
concerning
Hill.
for them right now. They're going into because the Iron Bowl's Jordan Hare this year. I mean, it's them losing at home to Oklahoma. It definitely puts their playoff lives at doubt whenever, coming into it. If they ended up at 3 losses, there's no way they get it. There's no way they get it.
I mean, if Auburn wasn't in the turmoil that they're in now, I could give Auburn a chance, but Auburn don't have a chance in that game.
I don't think they do either, except for the fact that they have a good pass rush, and we saw what Ty can do under, duress. He could turn it over. Now the difference is we at least have a secondary. Auburn does not.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never know though. They always talk about it, man. A lot of weird things happen in Jordan Hare, at least for when it comes to Alabama and Georgia. They're two rivals. Wine Heineke, Kip, MMJ gonna have Thanksgiving feast early this year tomorrow at 11.
They are.
So.
They are, because when we stuff the run on first down and stuff it on second down, and they got to load up on third and long, it's gonna be a long day. Now, don't get me wrong.
If you get behind the sticks, it's definitely going to be a long ass day. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I think that their defense, from watching Brent Venables, his conference, bro, really set off some concerns with me because he said that we're going to spread it out a little more. And if our running backs are banged up, I don't think Missouri is going to have a lot of success against us. But if we're just not going to run the football and we're going to play flag football and let John Mateer throw the ball all over the place, it's going to be a closer game than it should be because their defense is pretty good.
It is good. But I think you got to what we've seen this team do well in the rushing game is when they spread it out though and hand off the ball. Because if you're relying on your tight ends to get key blocks, it's not gonna work out. Caden's done a good job. I think Caden's done a good job at blocking since he got back. But aside from him, the other guys are not good at it. They're just not good at it. So expecting them to get a key block is like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Gabe talked about that earlier in the year or after the Texas game. He was like, why are we, putting our success and failure on tight ends that aren't blockers?
So what Gabe was pretty much talking about, when we run that GT counter, you bring the tight end across to block that defensive end. That's what he's talking about. They're not good at that.
But if you spread them out at least and you get the linebackers out of the box, is what he said. Like guys like, Anthony Hill feasted on the running backs in the games, and even when Mateer tried to run, it was right there in the box. He's just, what are you going to do?
Well, Anthony Hill's a 5-star All-American.
He is indeed, but I'm just saying though, some of these guys you got to be better no matter what. If they're SEC linebackers, they're pretty good. Get them out of the box, and don't expect these tight ends that aren't very good at blocking to block. I think it seems normal to me.
I think if we force the issue, regardless of how we line up, as long as we're not doing the finesse run stuff, if we're running more power, we're running more stretch and stuff like that, man, I think the running back's a feast. It's that slow developing GT counter that I just don't care for. If we just line up and when we run downhill, man, our running backs are getting 4, 5, 6 yards of carry. Now, we don't have to break an 80-yard run all the time, but stay consistent with it. Go ahead and get those 4 yards. And on second down, when you're in 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7, instead of spreading out to 5 wide and getting an incompletion, go right back to the run. It doesn't have to be the same running play. There's so many different ways to run the football, so many different formations in which you can run the football out of. Get some motion in there, get some guys thinking the wrong thing, get their eyes in the wrong place. Just you can tell a story running the football.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And I've always kind of wondered why we don't use more of the screen game at all, or even just throwing it out to the sidelines whenever, you've got guys that are backed off of them 5 to 7 yards. Man, I come from an offense, man. Hit that dude on the line, and until they come up to guard you, hit him on the line.
You know what? The screen run works when teams are blitzing. That's the best time to run a screen. And how do you get a team to
sprint out
blitz?
though, something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But
I just John Mateer is just not. He's not Baker Mayfield, man. I
he's
know.
definitely not that.
I know we want him to be, but we seen what he's capable of. Could the thumb be an issue? The thumb could be an issue. But my thing is, if the thumb is an issue and he's not 100% healthy, take the ball out of his hands.
Yeah.
Don't put him in a situation where he has to throw the ball 32, 34 times a game. It just doesn't make sense. That's what we did in the Texas game. He came right out of surgery and we threw the ball, I think 32, 34 times, and then he had another 8 to 10 rushes. That is not winning football. You can't tell me that was your game plan going into that game with a quarterback coming off of surgery. That was just a bad game plan by Ben Arbuckle, man. He's got to grow up and he's got to learn to adjust according to what's going on week to week.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you feel like this is more of a commitment to the run thing than it is anything else then? I mean, the offensive line has played much better, the last really 5 weeks or more. Do you feel like it's more that they're not committed to running it than it is, a issue with running backs or blocking or any of that other stuff?
I said this at the beginning of the year when everybody was saying that Oklahoma can't run the ball. Oklahoma can't run the ball. It's not that we can't run the football, guys. Our offensive line, they're playing phenomenally well, okay? John Mateer's not getting sacked 100 times a game. We're not getting the running backs aren't getting hit in the backfield. Our running backs are consistently getting 3 to 4 yards a carry. The issue is we're not calling run plays. That's the issue. We just flat out don't call run plays. And then you pointed it out on one of your podcasts. Ben Arbuckle, whether it's at Washington State or the University of Oklahoma, is undefeated when he runs the ball 40 times a game. It's not about the yards.
Yeah, I pointed that out after you talked about that.
It's about the attempts, brother.
Shout out to you for that
run
stat.
The football, man. I just go back and do the work. And I said, if I can do that work, why can't our coaches do that work? Instead of taking the easy way out and just saying we're going to spread it out all the time. Texas Tech ain't never won no national championship with their spread offense.
Nobody has. I mean, well, and aside from Oklahoma winning it that year with the year after Leach left and basically running the same offense, but aside from that, there's never been a air raid team to really do it, unless you want to say that that's what they were doing at LSU. Or maybe at Clemson, which I don't know that I do think that.
Clemson ran
in
the
fact,
football.
I don't think that that's really what it was. Huh?
So,
no, Clemson was a running team. They ran the ball.
Yes,
right?
and they also had Brent Venables defense. So since the year 2000 when we won it, there's only been one team that has thrown the ball during the season more than they ran the ball, and that was LSU. And you have to remember, LSU still had Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They still had an amazing running back.
Oh no, they ran the hell out of the ball. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They could still run. That was the thing. As much as they talk about Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow was a bad dude. Don't get me wrong. But if you look at what he was the year before that, he was just okay. You know what I mean? He was just okay. And so their defense was also really good. I mean, they caught lightning in a bottle with their receiving core that they had there, and having the fact that they could run the ball. But I can't think of a team that runs a spread offense that's won anything other than Oklahoma's last one. It was more, not the spread. It was the air raid, but they definitely have always run the ball whenever they're going to win. And when they've been good, they've always been a running team first, right?
So let me say this. You said our last one, which was in 2000. You got to remember, we had QG back there. We had Quentin Griffin. He had 6 touchdowns against Texas that year. Quentin Griffin was a monster.
Quentin Griffin was a bad dude, bro. He was a bad dude, no doubt.
We played defense. And if we would have had the defense that we have now, when we had Baker Mayfield and we had Kyler Murray, even when we had Jalen Hurts, we win the national title.
Mm-hmm. if you'd have had a defense, for sure.
But we didn't. Okay, so moving forward, you have the defense, and I know a lot of people have kind of been down on Brent Venables. I am not that guy. I love Brent Venables. And for what he has brought to this program as far as recruiting,
Yeah.
Getting the players off the
Culture, the
weed.
locker room culture is as big as anything too. They love each other, man. This team plays for each other.
Yeah, we need Brent Venables, man. We just need him to figure out this offensive coordinator position. I would have some faith in Ben Arbuckle if I saw changes after certain games in which we ran the football well and we dominated, like the Tennessee game. That's how we won that football game. But to come back the next week and just completely abandon the run, man, I have no faith in that, man. Because you're telling me that you're not learning from your experiences.
Well, that's the concern that and I was in the stadium yelling, "Run the effing football" often last week, and so I get it, and I'm with you on that. I will. You do have to shout out to Bama's defense was pretty damn good. I'll give them that, and they knew what wasn't coming, and they were almost daring you to run the ball, and I don't know why it didn't.
Yeah, they got Bama's players. They have a good recruiting class. He's coming there and he's done a good job with continuing with the recruiting that Bama has done. But I mean, the parity in college football is because the recruiting is spread out more because of
NIL in the portal has helped that a lot. Right. Yeah. I think overall, and I think they kind of they got Bama's number a little bit. You know what I mean? I think that the way that they came in and it was clear that they were the more physical team.
2-0 since joining the SEC, man. That's big. I mean, we're 0-2 against some other teams, but man, that's big.
But think about it.
Bama.
You go to Bama. They have the longest active winning streak at home. It's just not a place that people beat them at very often. And I tell you from being there, fantastic venue. It's so big. You don't realize how damn big that place is until you're in it. It was big. It was big. So it was like I was like, son of a bitch. And I didn't feel like it was as loud as I've heard it get other places. I don't think it was loud. It was as loud probably as even at Tennessee, and probably not LSU either. I didn't make it to LSU last year, but I would say that it was definitely. It was an amazing. It was an amazing place. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I think that it was somewhat intimidating, but when they came out and were able to kind of get the crowd out of it a little bit, that pick six was huge, man. I mean, and shout out to Eli, right? What a freaking play. What a play. My God, but
we have every position
covered. To the pressure that you got on his ass too.
We have every position covered. I don't know if some of the fans realize we're good at every position on the field. There's not a position on that field in which I feel that we're lacking. I'm talking about John Mateer as well. John Mateer is fine. I don't think that there's anything wrong with John Mateer. I just think that the play calling has to improve, protect him a little better. If he's not the guy that's going to go out and win you a football game, a la the Baker Mayfields, a la the Kyler Murrays, then it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Call plays accordingly. Don't put the ball in his hands to where he has to make a play 50 times a game. Give it to other players. 25 carries, 30 carries for Xavier Robinson, another 25 carries for pick another running back. I don't care. And then, I mean, if you want to,
whoever, get him some runs. Yeah.
If you want to call two quarterback draws for him, that's fine. And then maybe he'll get another 2 to 3 carries from scrambling. But him having to do the majority of the work, 32 passes, 10 to 12 to 15 rushes. I'm not a fan of that. He's not that good of a player. He's not Cam Newton.
He's not. And I think that especially since the injury, he's definitely not been even as good as he was pre-injury. even though at that point he was still not taking care of the football very well.
No,
So that would be,
he was turning the football over. And Ben Arbuckle was calling plays like he's our best offensive player. He's if you honestly look at it and you ranked our offensive players as far as skill positions, he's probably 4th or 5th.
Oh yeah, easy. I don't think that. I mean, I think, and Giovanni Gibson hasn't shown what he is because I think of that injury, but that dude's a stud if he was, if he was healthy. And then, I mean, I think Isaiah Satana has been the best weapon that you have on that offense, period. They haven't gotten him the football enough.
Because
Keontae Lewis had
because they've gotten him the ball. That's why he's had the production that he's had. And I don't see a problem with getting the receivers involved more. I just think that we would get more one-on-one situations if we called running plays to run the ball better. Because if you look at a lot of our explosive plays in the passing game, it hasn't come from 5 wide. It's come from that pistol look that he's been showing recently.
I actually like the pistol look. I like that pistol look too. No, and I think, what's up there, Duke? I agree. I think when you start looking at that, you have to get into some things that you know are going to work. But I'd like to see them kind of using, I mean, Elijah Thomas, if he's as good as everybody talks about, put him in. Burks doesn't seem to be able to make anybody miss. We're just talking about that. He runs into the first damn defender he sees when he catches the ball.
Yeah, but he's not getting the targets.
I think that you need to put him in better positions to be more explosive, but he hasn't been explosive when he gets the ball in space. Even it seems like he runs right into a tackle. So, to me, it's definitely been Satagna. I'd like to send, and I think Burks is getting pissy about it. I saw him barking at Venables coming off the field last week.
He is.
I get it. It is what it is, but I'd also like to see them get the ball in Kanek's hands a little more out of there.
We're not drawing up plays for those guys, man. The plays that he are calling is for John Mateer to read this and read that and go off of this and go off of that. And John Mateer hasn't shown that he can get that done. So you need to draw up some concepts and you need to drop some plays to where you're calling a play for Kanek, to where you're calling a play for Burks to get open. They're not calling plays for these guys. They're just running 5 wide, and he's supposed to read the field, and he's just not reading the field well. And
that's what I would say. I think the best thing that you could do if you're Buckle is, rather than having, because he's not getting through his progressions, he might get to a second one, but that's about it. My feeling is, if you know that you're going to get Kanek open on these certain ones, you need to switch up who he's looking to first. Make it easier on your quarterback. If you're Buckle, this is where you become a real benefit to your player and say, look, you're not seeing this guy. We need to get you on this guy first. Look him off, but the first option is now Kanek in this position, or whoever, Deion Burks, whoever it may be. They know you're going to this guy. Look at him and hit this guy. If you could do some of those, and you get until the 15-second mark to talk to him anyway. You know what I mean? You can be in his ears. So there's really not an excuse for not talking about these things and getting these things through. And if he is doing that and he's not getting it, then I got to ask, why are you not pulling him out of the game then? At this point, that's not going to happen, I don't think. And
no, it's his guy.
The good news is that you got the red shirt now for Hawkins. They should at least have a package for him. I don't know that they will.
I told you, man, Hawkins is gone because John Mateer's not going into the NFL. So unless Ben Arbuckle gets a job and John Mateer follows him, we will have John Mateer next year.
I don't think that, and has Buckle done a good enough job to get another job?
I don't care. I just want him to go away.
I'm just saying, though, the likelihood of that happening is,
I don't care,
kind of small, right?
I don't care. I mean, Jeff Levy got a job, so somebody should give Ben.
Jeff Levy had the number 5 offense in the country in both scoring and yardage that year too.
And because he didn't run the football, I told you and I'm gonna say this analogy because I know that you have a lot of viewers that don't view my channel. So I'm gonna say this analogy. Passing the football is just like in basketball when you shoot a lot of threes. It's fine in the NBA because you have a 7-game series, but eventually your team is going to have a bad shooting night. So that's why you get all these teams that have these high records in college basketball, and they get into the tournament, and you wonder how they lose to a 12 seed. It's because they put them in bad situations and they had a bad shooting night. It's the same thing with Jeff Lebby. Yes, Jeff Lebby could throw the ball all over the place, and Jeff Lebby could get yards and he could put up points. But then when we went up against Kansas and Oklahoma State, both games was a dud. The defense was fine, but both games was a dud because he didn't run the football.
Yeah, I agree.
Football's not going to change, man. You're not going to reinvent the wheel. You have to run the football. The proof is in the pudding. We said it already. Over the last 25 years, every team that won the national championship was a run-first team except for one. That's not a good percentage, man, for a good argument for throwing the ball all over the place. And I hope we figure it out. I'm not saying go into the wishbone. I'm not an idiot. We're not going to be. I'm not saying we need to be Army and Navy and all
You
that.
have to commit to the run game is what it is. You have to commit to the run game.
Ohio State did it last year. The Philadelphia Eagles did it last year. Georgia did it when they won. Nick Saban did it every year he was at Alabama, even when he had Lane Kiffin.
Even with Lane and Sark, yeah, they were still gonna run the ball.
Still gonna run the ball.
Listen, when Lincoln first got there, that was one of the first discussions that him and Stoops had to have is, hey, you got Samaje Perine and Joe Mixon in the backfield. Run the fucking ball.
Man, I used to yell at my TV, man, give Perine the ball. You see what he did against Kansas when
Wisdom wins. Don't come in here saying stupid shit. He gives Arbuckle the parameters of how he wants the offense run. What kind of stupid shit is that? If that is not what he's doing.
I don't.
This dude just be coming in and saying any old thing.
Brent Venables is not a, and that's one of the things that Nick Saban had alluded to. He said that he had to learn offense in order to become a better coach. And I'm not saying that there's a difference between being a defensive coach and knowing where your eyes should be as far as coaching a defense against an offense. It's another thing about knowing the intricacies of offensive football and how to tell a story. That's what offensive football is, being able to tell a story so you can get the players on the team thinking one thing and then doing something else.
Sure. It's just like playing poker. It's like playing poker. You got to tell a story. You got to tell a story about what you're doing. If the story changes, you're bluffing, and all of a sudden the story is a big difference from what it was pre-flop and on the turn, I'm going to know that you're lying and bust you. You know what I mean? Like, I can just tell you that's how I am as a card player. But I think you're right. I think look, you got to learn to set it up. Play chess more. If there's another analogy, play more chess than checkers. It's not about just getting kinged up, you know what I mean, and scoring a bunch of points. The main thing is to shorten the football game, not gives. And look, these guys, all games are, all football has kind of, all the rules are in favor of the offense these days. You know, they want a lot of points on the board, stuff like that. The best thing you can do as a defense to help your defense is to keep the clock running so that you keep these offenses off the field. Because if you don't, then they're eventually going to hurt you. 7-on-7, things like that. These kids are much more advanced in the passing game than they ever have been. You know, the PlayStation at 7-on-7, all that stuff. Call it what you will, but there's a lot more to it than what it used to be. I remember how Mummy used to talk about that. He goes, man, these kids play PlayStation. They know how to throw the ball. They know how to get everybody involved, and everybody wants to be involved. That's cool. Eventually, you know, but what you do for sure, if you run the football, you're putting them in a situation that they don't see as much. Guaranteed.
And you're giving your defense a chance to not only get a breath, but give them a chance to get coached up on the sideline. We go 3 and out way too much. And the defense isn't getting a chance to go on the sideline and just kind of chill and catch their breath and get coached up. kind of tell Brent Venables what they're seeing, tell their defensive back coach, hey, this is what I'm seeing. The defensive back coach being able to say, hey, I need you to transition a little better instead of getting your eyes in the wrong place, getting your hands in the wrong place. Give them guys a chance to get coached up. It seems like the defense is on the field a lot more and the offense is getting coached up, but they're not doing anything with it. First down, first quarter and third quarters, we're terrible. So what does that tell you? That tells me that Ben Arbuckle has a bad game plan and he's not making adjustments. First quarter, if you're terrible, you got a bad game plan. Third quarter, if you're terrible, you're not making adjustments at halftime. And we're just not playing complementary football with the defense that we have. And it needs to change in order for us to play dominant football and win a national championship. And I want one bad. I'm tired of all my friends talking crap. I need one in my life. It's been 25 years. That's way too long for Oklahoma to go without.
Listen, and I think it's a lot to this is what I was trying to tell Marcus the other day. We were arguing and stuff on that morning show. My deal is that expect, you got to give him time and all this stuff. Arbuckle, you got to give him time, to learn the SEC and all that. And it's like, you may not have time. There's no guarantees that you're coming back to the playoff. If you make it this year, you're still 2 games away from making it this year. Number one.
See, Texas
number
ain't
two, you don't know what's going to happen next year. The thing is you got to find a way to get it done when you get your opportunities, because I think this is the biggest toss-up year that I can remember in a long time. That where you could theoretically, you could really see upwards of more than 5 or 6 teams that might win the thing. I think that, because you got to say Georgia, you got to say obviously Ohio State being the defending champions. I don't know that I necessarily think that they're dominant enough to win it, but I don't know how dominant you got to be either. Indiana, I kind of need to see that, against better teams. I like their offense a lot, like I know you do.
I love Indiana's offense and their defense.
I like their offense too, but what I don't know is that whether or not, because the Big Ten doesn't play very good competition though either. And they're Texas Tech, I don't believe in either. I got to see the shit.
They got a very good middle linebacker, man. And
I like him too.
And they run the football as well. They got a 2-headed monster at running back.
They do. Yeah, it's a good thing because their quarterbacks are always hurt. So, it kind of is what it is. But I would say, I think that there's multiple teams that could win it is what the point I'm making. And so if you have an opportunity with the best defense in the country, and this is the best defense in the country, then go out there and make it work. Find a way. Because if you're just assuming that, hey, it's good enough just to get to the quarterfinals or the semis, and I don't think you get out of the quarterfinals without the offense playing better. I don't.
We have the defense to win a national championship. We don't have the offensive coordinator to win a national championship. It's really that simple.
Yeah.
As far as our offensive players, I have faith in Xavier Robinson. I actually have
I like Torrey too.
Some faith in John Mateer getting the ball done if he doesn't have to be the guy.
Yeah.
But if he has to be the guy where he has to it's on his shoulder
30 times or more,
40 to 50 times a game, that's not a good recipe for him, man. He's not a 40 to 50 time a game guy. He is give him 25 pass attempts. Give him 20 pass attempts.
It'd be one thing if he was spreading it around more.
Let him go 15 for 22, 17 for 22, and he'll be fine.
Chavez, you can't just look at the entire season and say that they averaged 28. They do not average near that in the SEC, bro. Come on. Come on now. You don't add in the out of conference games and then think that matters. It doesn't. So, 28.9. You got to say they're closer to 20 than what they average. It won't be enough. It won't be enough in the playoff. I can promise you that it won't be enough.
Let me help him out. John Mateer against Power 5 opponents this year is 134 for 217 for 1,400 yards. There are running backs that have more than 1,400 yards. He's got 4 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. That's against Power 5 opponents. That's not going to get it. And I'm the type of guy that I never blame the players. I blame the coaches because the players are only pawns on the board and they have to execute what the coaches give them. And if he's not doing that great, then don't put the ball in his hands as much. But against Power 5 opponents, he's got 4 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. That's not national championship winning football.
Exactly. And if it wasn't for this defense doing what it's doing and the kicker doing what he's doing, you would probably see a very similar record as to what you saw last year. Because the numbers aren't very much different.
I did a video where I pointed that out. And one thing, I know you have the Phil Steele magazine, right? Do you get the Phil Steele magazine every year? Phil Steele had us on the upswing because we were one of the teams that lost close games. So you have close games. Whenever you lose 5 or more close games, then he projects you to win those 5 or more close games the next year. So this year we've won 5 or more close games. So what do you think we're going to do next year? We'll probably be on the downswing. That's why you said you can't guarantee that you're going to get to the playoffs every year, especially when you're a team that is winning these close games and you're not actually dominating the teams that you're supposed to dominate.
Cherry Bear, why do you think it is that they're better? Of course they're better than last year. They are. We just told you why. You got short shorts. My guy short shorts banging 55-yarders all fucking gay.
We wouldn't do it that last
games,
year.
We've had 6 turnovers and only turned the ball over once ourselves. That's it.
That's it.
You got to be better on, and nobody's bad mouthing Oklahoma. Look, I love OU as much as you do, and you know what? This defense is absolutely championship level. If you want to talk reality, the reality is there's no way you win a national championship without an offense that has the ability to take advantage of opportunities, and they haven't. They haven't.
And guys,
if they can do it, then yeah, they can run through it without putting up at least 2 to 3 touchdowns a game for your offense. You're not going to win in the playoff. You're not.
Yeah. And guys, don't think just because some of us get on here and we point out our shortcomings that we're down on the team. That is not the case. I know a lot of you guys don't know me, but man, I was born
I've been
sooner.
saying Oklahoma's better all year. I've been saying it all year, but it's to the point that the offense has got to do better.
Got to do better.
And it's not just about material, it's about the entirety of it. Look, maybe they are, if what Kel Gundy was saying I know you guys were listening to the Sports Animal when he was talking the other day, that they're just doing what they wanted to, what they're going to continue doing this, just try not to turn the ball over and get turnovers from the defense. I think that's a lot for him to say, not being in the damn room. But because they hadn't turned the ball over all year. And all of a sudden you've got 6 in the last 2 games, which is great. But you're going to play better teams that are going to protect the ball better too. You have to know that they need to score points. There's no way that Venables is thinking he can win just like this, just because he's done it for the last 2 weeks. There's no way he's thinking that, guys.
We've had one offensive touchdown.
You don't want him as your offensive coordinator. Fuck.
Stop looking at the scores, guys. We've had 1 offensive touchdown last game. Stop looking at the scoreboard because the defense is damn near they're keeping pace with the offense game to game recently with the touchdowns that the defense has had. And that should not be the case. We're kicking field goals because we can't get into the end zone. And Brent Venables is getting on there touting our 100% conversion rate in the red zone. I don't give a damn about no damn field goals. Go get me a touchdown. Run the football. Dominate. Don't give me one identity on defense, which is dominant in your face football, and then give me this wet tissue baby shit offense. Excuse my language.
Oh, you don't have to excuse your language here. We talk mad shit in here, bud. We do that a lot.
But
Yeah,
I'm not
the
counting on the
conservative
team, man.
offense, you can't be so conservative. You're gonna have to get out there and run the damn ball and do some things. Look, I'm great with this kicker, and if you can continue. Look, here's what it means: that if you don't, you're good to get him inside of 55 yards. He's gonna bang them in there. That's a great weapon to have. A great weapon to have. The thing is, when you turn over Ty Simpson down there like they did with the strip sack and don't even go for the end zone from there. I mean, we're talking you're inside the red zone area and don't go for the end zone. Man, come on, bro. Throw the fucking ball up. And you've got guys like Ivan Carry-On that don't play very much, but this dude's 6'7". You don't have to be that accurate. Throw the motherfucker up. I mean, give him a shot.
Give him a shot.
And I think that at this point, my concern more than anything else is that they become very predictable. Very predictable. You see the same plays run every game. And out of the same looks, too.
It's run the ball on first down and then go in a hurry up offense and spread it out to 5 wide on second down. It don't matter how many fucking yards you got on first down. That's his MO. Whether it's 4 yards on first down or it's running for 12 yards on first down, he wants to go fast and then spread it out to 5 wide. It's just idiotic to me. What story are you telling doing that?
Yeah. Who you talking about, Eho? Who you talking shit about there, big guy?
I'm not even reading all the comments. I'm reading them.
I'm trying not. I've been lately. I've been to the point where I'm gonna have to stop doing it.
No, man, you gotta interact with your people, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Sometimes that interaction turns ugly because I'm Richard Petty, brother. Richard Petty.
I get trolls all the time, man. I just let them have it. I just let them say what they want to say. I don't care. But hey, you get in their ass. That's
Don't start with the Gundy shit with me though. That's the one thing. I don't want to hear this fucking Kel Gundy bullshit. If he was so damn good, he'd have been the OC. A lot of dudes passed him up to become offensive coordinator at Oklahoma. He could recruit his ass off. He apparently wasn't that good at being a play caller.
I think if what's the name gets fired at South Carolina, we should bring him in.
Who?
Their head coach.
Oh, Beamer. Ugh.
Let me tell you something. We had one of our best. We had one of our best offensive seasons when he was the co-offensive coordinator. Shane.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Shane anymore. I don't like that dude, man. He's such a clown to me. And the shit like that last week when they're, talking all that shit at halftime like he was and then lose. Oh, bro. Bro. You got to stop.
Yeah, they forgot how to run the football in the second half.
Yeah. You're 5'8", 180. What are you talking that shit for then, Eho? Let's see. Maybe it's time we fire tight end coach and O-line coach. No. Guys, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't know why people are on the coordinators when we have good players at damn near every position.
And like the line coach. What the fuck? Are you seriously? Are we talking about Big Bill doesn't know what the fuck he's doing?
Make Bill Beatonbow the offensive coordinator. I bet we run the football.
Mercy. What are we talking about, folks? Both QBs will be running for their life this weekend. Shane Beamer, what? Yeah, thank you, Shoddy. Thank you. This is our boy, Shoddy Parker. He played at Georgia back in the day with Champ Bailey and those dudes.
Okay.
Awesome. And he's a run-first dude still. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't give a shit about Kel Gundy, Greg. Go away with that. Go away with that. No more. No more. Oh, man. I think everybody's going to be, hey, Neilio, I saw you in here talking your shit earlier. Welcome back to the show, my man. Appreciate you. Let's see. No rat poison. I think no faking. My guy here has been saying it right. You should be able to run away with this game. That freshman quarterback cannot win it with his arm. If you shut down and nobody's been running on Oklahoma, if you shut them down in the run game, which you should be able to do that, at least, for the most part, all you got to do, hey, get out in front of them. They're in trouble. Then they have to throw, and it could get ugly at that point.
But you gotta. Not only do you have to score points, if you run the football, they have less time to catch up. If you're winning the time of possession, let's say you get in the halftime and you damn near doubled them up in the time of possession and they're down 2-3 scores, then they don't have a choice. They have to run. They have to throw the football. And
that's right.
When you
look, they've got good receivers. They got good receivers, but you're not going to have time to do it.
Man, that's when we're going to get our takeaways, when we put them in that bad situation where they have to throw the football with their third string freshman quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, if you can make Ty Simpson, who's been the best and most consistent quarterback all year, make bad decisions in the passing game, you should be able to do that with a freshman for sure. Mm-hmm. I would think.
We did it against Tennessee, and everybody was talking about
they hadn't really been turning the ball over as much either. Now, he was turning it over a lot last year at App State.
Yeah, but this year they hadn't turned the ball over. Their quarterback was playing just fine until he ran into us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
The only one
that really this is some funny shit. Miho, like I was Sam Elliott. Yeah, kind of what I was saying for Eho. Busted his chops a little bit. What question? What will we do? I think you just jump out in front if you can. Whatever you got to do, you get out in front. But look, I don't know that it's going to be easy to run the ball on them. I think this might be a week that you need to loosen it up with the passing game early. They've been creeping up. You should be able to try to go down the field. I mean, try something down the field. I think that would be the way to go. And then, yeah, I think go ahead with what would be your game plan offensively this week?
I would definitely run the football, man. Even when I coach this game, I don't care if you know that I'm about to run the football. I'm about to run the football anyway. Because one thing about it, I don't want to RPO and try to change my game plan according to what you're doing on defense. I want to enforce my will. And then when you come into the box, I can get those one-on-one situations on the outside with our bigger receivers or our speedier receivers. Our receivers are having to find holes in zones and he's having to make decisions and all that stuff. Give me a stretch look. Give me a dive look. And then play action fake and get John Material on the outside running by himself with three receivers running in his face at different levels. I'm done with trying to predict what Ben Arbuckle is going to do because I don't have a clue. His game plan week to week is so erratic, it's ridiculous. We'll have one week where we run the ball 40 times and we get 100 yards rusher, and then we'll come right back the next week and Xavier Robinson will have 10 carries. So I'm done trying to predict what he's going to do. Would I like to see him run the ball more? Yes. Would I like to see him put John Material in better situations to where he has some one-on-one situations with play action fake and stuff like that? Yes. But I don't know what he's going to do, man. We just have to hope that John Material does not turn the football over and we go get a win. And I do believe that we'll win this game by more than one score. I have no faith in Missouri at all.
Yeah. Hey, Chavez, most OU fans, content creators, you weren't here then in the early part of the season. I've never said less than 9-3.
Oh,
never.
No, when people
not with this defense.
Yeah,
not with this defense. And even though they were playing this schedule, I've never been this one of these people. So if you want to come in running your mouth, and I know you've been doing it after the fact in the comments section, you need to go say that to the content creators that you're talking about because it wasn't here.
Yep. Even when they were predicting us to go 6-7, talking about the schedule, I said, I don't give a damn about the schedule. I got faith in my guys. When they was like, they were saying that 9-3 was our ceiling. You a damn lie, 9-3 is our ceiling, because I'm a firm believer that we could have been undefeated this year if we would have just not overthought it and actually ran the football against Texas.
Mm.
And the same thing against Ole Miss and kept Ole Miss off the field. Because that Ole Miss score really could have been worse than what it was.
Right. No, I think I was about to say something about it, T Boomer, and I did forget it. Should Ben go up in the box to see the field better? I think that's
that ain't it.
Myself, and thank you for the super chat, by the way, but myself, I think it's a personal preference thing. They've got the iPads. He can see everything he needs to see, and he can make if you're going to make the adjustments, he can see that shit in real time. Or, right after the play's over, you're going to see it. If you will actually make an adjustment, I don't think that it matters. If he feels more comfortable down on the sideline, Levy liked being up in the box. I think it's a personal preference from coordinator to coordinator, but they have the ability and the technology to see everything they need to see. So I don't necessarily think it matters. And I don't think, he's got guys in the box that are talking to him about it anyway. So it to me, I understand the question. I don't really think it matters myself, but thank you for the super chat. What do you think? Do you think it matters?
I honestly don't believe he would know what he was looking at if he got up there.
There's one guy on YouTube that talks more shit about Buckle than I do. Is right next to me, right here.
So listen, man. When we had Lincoln Riley, I talked shit about the defense and that nonsense that he had going on. But now that we got, the offense, Ben Arbuckle, man, he just calls what he calls. There's not seeing, because I watch the games in detail, and it's not that he's seeing something on defense and he's running a certain play. I'm not seeing that. I'm just seeing him run what he wants to run, because I'll see the defense in a certain thing, in a certain defense, and then I'll see the play, and I'm like, why the hell did he run that? And then I'll go back and I'll look at the defense again. I'm like, looking at the defense, why did we not check out of that?
Mm-hmm.
Like what are you running?
Mm-hmm.
For example, we had a 2nd and 3. After we had got a 7-yard run, and he went GT counter, and then he ran a sweep to the short side of the field. On 2nd and 3? On 3rd and 3? You run a sweep to the short side of the field? Come on, man. Get this guy out of here, man. No, I don't think whether he's on the field or up in the box, I don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters for any number of reasons. I gave you 2 reasons, and he gave you 2 more right there. So.
Yeah, I don't think.
Oh shit, that's good stuff. X-Rob getting hurt with 13 minutes left in the third killed our run game versus Bama. When was it going before that, Jeff? Because it wasn't.
What about Bama? Which one are you reading?
He said X-Rob getting hurt with 13 minutes left in the third killed our run game versus Bama. It hadn't really been going up until that point. They weren't really running the football much. Anyways, it's again, look, I'm not going to sit here and do this all day. And we're not just sitting here trying to just bury this offense and everything else. What the point that we're making is this team right here should be competing for all of it. You're going to have to play better on offense to do it all. And that's all. It doesn't matter. I don't really care how they get there. Whatever you got to do, go get it done. Run the football would be huge, right? You need to, see, even Duke says there's another offensive coordinator at a Texas 6A school right here. Got to have you better have that run game going tomorrow, or you could get beat. You could. You better find a way to get on the board. I know that.
If John Mateer turns the ball over, we will lose.
You're going to have fewer opportunities. When somebody runs the ball the way Mizzou does, you will have fewer opportunities, fewer possessions, without a doubt. You better hold on to the football and put points on the board. I will say this. This kicker means a lot to this football team. I think that you cannot be overstated how much this kid means.
He outscores the offense.
Yeah, he's got more points than Mateer does on the season. He does. It's by 1 point, but he's got more points than the quarterback.
Let me address the Ott real quick, guys. I understand that Ott has had some bad body language. That's because he was brought here to do a job and he has not had the opportunity. If I was a running back, I'd have bad body language on the sideline too, because this team just does not run the football. We should have been getting a heavy dose of, because one thing about it, when Ott has gotten his opportunities, I've seen him make people miss. I've seen him do it. He is a good running back. So there's nothing wrong with Jaden Ott. There's nothing wrong with any of our running backs. They just need the carries. We shouldn't have 10 carries for Xavier Robinson and then 12 carries for John Mateer. It just shouldn't be happening like that. Ott should be getting those carries. I don't know what happened to our host. Oh, there he is.
Man, my eyeballs were floating. I had to run. It was a perfect time for you to take that question.
But I think Ott is done, man. I don't think they're going to play him anymore for the rest of the year because he's going to transfer. He's gone. So what we're going to do with running back next year, I have no idea. Because I'm telling you, Jaden Ott is gone.
So it would have to be Taylor Tatum this week and what? I mean,
I think Tatum's still hurt.
Sawchuk?
I think Tatum's still. Sawchuk is gone. He's at Florida State.
No, little Sawchuk, little brother Sawchuk.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
But I mean, the other two guys are hurt, so they're not sure what. I mean, we haven't seen obviously the injury report for today, but the other two guys are on it, so we'll see kind of what happens. But the expectations is that you're gonna have to play somebody. Somebody's got to play running back.
Let JD Piquel tell it. John Mateer is our best running back. Freaking idiot!
God Almighty. God help us then.
I wish
Jaren Kanik. I don't know. I don't think that you're using Kanik in the passing game. I would think that you need to do something. You know,
man, just get Kanik the ball. Kanik is a baller.
I'd love to have him in the game somewhere. Yeah, give him the football.
Give him the ball.
Yeah, he's an athlete, man. The guy had, he's a 4.443 guy speed wise. So,
give me
I tell you one thing. I said this a lot at the start of the year, where, and you got to take high school film with a grain of salt because it's high school. But I've never seen a high school film with more 50+ yard touchdowns than the one that Jaren Kanik put out there. Unfucking believable. Just over and over and over again as a running quarterback.
Somebody said Andy Bass. Andy Bass is hurt.
Yeah, he's still broken.
Isn't he?
I don't think he's ready. Yeah, I don't see that, bro. Andy Bass would be cool, but no, Bishop, he's still hurt. Come on now. Yeah. Who is the season leader in rushing?
I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, I was fixing to say it probably still
it's Torrey Blaylock.
Yeah.
Torrey Blaylock at 402, Xavier Robinson at 366. And John Mateer 329. Now, this is the funny part. This is the funny part. Torrey Blaylock has 98 carries for 402 yards. Xavier Robinson has 62 carries for 366 yards. John Mateer has 104 carries. He is the only person on our roster with over 100 carries for 329 yards. Why? Why? Is he better than Xavier Robinson and Torrey Blaylock? No. I'll tell you why. Because he came over here with his offensive coordinator, and his offensive coordinator wants to try to win him the Heisman Trophy. His Heisman coordinator wants to try to get him all the kudos in the world. And Brent Venables don't ever do that again. If you go get a quarterback, don't bring his offensive coordinator. We don't need it. It hasn't worked.
Well, this is Duke's got a scathing comment here. Barnes being a program guy was complete bull. The team needs him now more than ever. Perfect opportunity to put some good film out there versus the G5 film he may or may not put out there next year.
But let me ask you this, Duke. Why would Barnes come on the field just to pass block. We don't want to give him the carries. So as a player, as a running back, you want to go somewhere where you're going to get the carries and you can try to get to the next level. You're not going to get to the next level pass blocking. I think Barnes is going too. I think he's out of here. Because even at the beginning of the year when we was playing Barnes, he wasn't getting the carries.
They had to have shut him down. They shut him down, or either that or he may have shut himself down, but whatever it was. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't getting attempts. They weren't putting him in the game, but to maybe get one block or something. Listen, as much as I get what you're saying too, I think it's kind of, I don't think it's right to just go after these kids like that. Because
I'm never on the players.
We're not seeing him give the fucking football to anybody. Even, I mean, you had X-Rob go for 100 yards 2 weeks in a row. He had 9 and 14 carries. Right?
Ridiculous.
And so, I mean, and when he was in the game playing those 3 weeks, how in the world would you expect? I mean, he was getting what, 2 or 3 carries? 4 carries, 5 carries, whatever. I don't know. And that's the other thing. Greg, for OU, Barnes has no vision. Everybody talks shit about him every week from week to week. Why the fuck would you stay around? I don't know why you would. And so, I mean, to me, it's easy to sit here and trash those guys and, be a program guy, be about the program. Hey, man, the program's got to be about you too.
They got to do what's best for them, man. At the end of the day, if you're giving me effort, then I'm all for you. The only time I have been critical of players is when I've seen piss poor effort. Now, if him not seeing the hole in some of that, I've seen some of that stuff. But okay, that's the back that he is. But what's the tight end that we had last year that went to LSU? I just drew a blank.
Oh yeah,
he was terrible.
Yeah,
you talk about piss poor effort. Yeah. That's when I get on it. That's when I get on a player is when you're giving me piss poor effort. But again, I'm on the coach.
And you're talking about. Listen, here's the one thing about it. Was it really his fault that Joe John and Seth Luttrell seemed to think that you needed to run your fucking offense to the guy?
Oh, but he was
Bauer
bad.
Sharp was not good. Bauer Sharp is not that guy. He's never been that guy. No. But if you put him in a situation where they're running the fucking offense to him, he certainly isn't going to be the guy.
His effort last year, man. I had a video in which I showed some plays in which they had him at the blocking point of attack, kind of like what Gabe was alluding to this year. And man, that dude, he ran right past the guy like on 4 different occasions. He didn't touch anybody. He ran through the hole like he had the damn ball. Didn't touch anybody.
That stupid throw it up like it was like he was throwing a half court shot at fucking with 2 seconds left in the LSU game. Whoa!
I don't know who threw that play up.
Surprised they even let him come home. They may not have let him come. That might have been why he ended up at LSU. He was already playing for him. Shit.
And I could care less. Bye.
I think this whole segment about the running backs was bad. What do you want us to say? What do you want us to say, bro? What do you want us to say?
I don't hate our running backs. I think we're good at running back, man. I think we're good at every position. That's why this is so frustrating, guys, because I think that we have the team to win a national title. It's been 25 years. We have never gone 25 years without a national title. I was born in 79. I was on the sideline in 85 when we won the national title. My cousin Lydell Carr was the fullback. I was a ball boy. I love this team, and it hurts to go 25 years without a national title, to have the offense that we had for the years that we had Lincoln Riley and no defense, now to have the defense fixed and we have no offense. This hurts deep down in my soul. I don't know if y'all just don't care or y'all just love just watching the team or whatever. Man, this is frustrating to me. I can't sleep the night before Saturday.
Yeah. Ronnie says Bauer Sharp been missing blocks at LSU all year too.
Yeah, Terrible. He's terrible. He won't even get drafted.
It's more regarding the take on Ott. Zofix, what take? What take is it? What do you want us to say about him? He's not. Is he going to play? I don't know if he's going to play or not.
I don't think he's going to play.
I don't think he's going to play. Have you seen him?
If you go look at the runs that Ott actually had, go look at the runs that Ott actually had. He had good runs when he got the football, but he doesn't get the football. So when you're a running back and you're not going to get the football, yeah, you don't want to play.
I don't know what's going on. And what we heard from Arbuckle is he's having these good practices, and then you don't see him with the football.
Same thing with
Hell, you didn't even see him play until the third or fourth quarter. He's giving him runs at the end of games, right? It's just wild.
Same thing with Xavier Robinson. Oh, he's had a good week of practice. Going to the game, 10 carries. What are we doing?
Well, not even that many. Most of the time, shit. His best game, he had 9. At least they tried to fix off. Is that where we're at, Dave?
What?
Oh, Dave's a Michigan fan. I remember. I forget. At least they tried to fix the offense this year. I think you guys are going to be fine on offense. You got a hell of a quarterback. I think they'll be fine.
Two touchdowns.
Not this team. I didn't say you want pretty wins. Where are you getting that from? All we talked about is just running the ball, and that isn't pretty wins.
When people say that, I don't think they realize the lack of production that we've had. I'm gonna say it again. John Mateer has 2 touchdown passes in the last 5 games. Stop telling me the offense is fine. Stop telling me the offense is fine. Stop telling me the offense is fine when the defense has scored just as many touchdowns the last 2 games as the offense has. When your kicker is outscoring your quarterback, stop telling me the offense is fine. Come on, man. See it for what it is, guys. We're not just on here bashing the team because we just want to bash the team. It's not about bashing the team. It's about pointing out our shortcomings and why we haven't fixed it. That's why my channel is called No Fakin' Sports, because I'm not going to get on here and give you all the sunshine. I'm just not going to do it. I'm a former player. I'm a former coach. I promise you, behind those closed doors, Brent Venables is not all sunshine what he's presenting to the media. I promise you. Those players are not all sunshine, but they have to present it to you guys in a certain way. Gabe and Teddy Lehman, they have a responsibility that they have to present their content a certain way. I'm not getting paid by OU. I'm not sitting there with Venables.
Me either.
I have no ties to anybody. No Fakin' Sports is independent. I got a full-time job. I'm going to get on here and I'm going to point out our shortcomings when I see them. Because there are some people that aren't as in-depth into football as I am. So I want them to see it from my point of view, and maybe they can learn a little more. This is all this is, guys. This is about educating. But if you don't want to take the information, man, then don't follow my channel, because I'm gonna call it how I see it.
Look at this. I mean, look, total passing attempts 321.
That's not going to
rushing attempts without Mateer rushing attempts is 238.
And that's what I point out week to week. Thank you for that stat, brother.
We got to be inefficient. If it's as inefficient as it was against Tennessee and Alabama, well, look, I don't think that this
we're gonna win tomorrow.
You have to worry as much. They're gonna win tomorrow. I think
they're gonna win. We kick 5 field goals and win 15-0. We're gonna win tomorrow. They're not scoring a touchdown on us unless they just break a long run.
Even if they do, they're not gonna score a bunch of touchdowns on them. If
they break a long run on a bad, somebody not fitting their gap or something like that, like Michigan when they came out at halftime, yes. But as far as sustained drives, no, hell no. Goose egg. Does that make y'all feel better? I say we go
win the best you can with what it has. TP, come on now. TP, don't go soft. TP, don't go soft and act like you wouldn't be saying the same thing whenever you're on with Coach Ricks. Don't be soft on me here. Bullshit. No.
With the way
No, listen. Look, all I'm saying, they're playing very well defensively. No doubt. And yes, they look, the way that Mizzou plays, they don't have anybody that is going to beat you with his arm for sure. And as good as I think Ahmad Hardy is, I watched Alabama hold him to under 50 yards.
They're not going to sustain drives against us, guys. Do understand that.
What up, Mars?
One thing that Missouri has not done well the last couple of weeks is sustain drives. And one thing that we have been very good at is field position. That's one thing that you can do when you have a really good defense. You can play field position. You can constantly flip it in your favor. And that's another reason why this is so heartbreaking, because even though we play good field position and we give our offense the ball on their side of the 50, they still only go give us field goals. But as far as field position, we're going to dominate this football game tomorrow. You watch what I tell you. They ain't about to come out here and run for no 200-some yards against us.
Well, they dominated field position last year. They dominated field position last week. That was the other part. The 3 turnovers were great, but the field position never flipped. Never flipped.
Yep.
That had a big part in it. When Sategna had that punt return down into Alabama territory, that flipped the field position from then on. It was huge. It was huge. He's not negative. He's not. Look, where has he lied to you? Where has he lied to you? You guys,
they don't like for you to tell them the stats.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he saw that sweep. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're
hearing Kevin Wilson is getting more hands on after the Bama game. He's been more vocal since before the Tennessee game, since after the loss to Ole Miss. What hands-on means, I don't know. I can tell you that I've heard little things like that, but until I see it, I'm going to have to see it, right? Yeah. OU wins tomorrow, period. Yeah, no. Coach Al, thank you for coming in, man. I appreciate you, as always. Yeah, they're going to win. They're going to win.
Now, if we lose and the offense doesn't play well, y'all going to be ready to run him out of town?
Yeah, you know they will. That's the one thing.
If we lose one of these next 2 games, everybody in the comment, I'm asking you, and Jason, I want you to go ahead and respond, brother. If we lose if we lose one of the next 2 games and we miss the playoffs, is everything still okay, or is the world on fire?
Well, everything's okay for Venables. It's not okay for your boy Buck. Not with this fan base anyway. I guarantee you they will all be at his neck. Every one of them. And a lot of them already are. Just so you know, a lot of them already are. It has to be, the offense is the weakest link, has to be major improvement. Look, at some point you're going to need it. You're going to need them. To be better, whether it's this week or next week or in the playoffs, you're going to need some offensive production. If you don't get it, you're not winning a national championship. Period. End of story. I'm not saying you're not going to get there, because LSU, not very good. Mizzou, Correction said it a second ago, they haven't beaten a ranked team. They haven't really done much against a ranked team. They have a 7-3 record. I think that they do things the way they like to do it. They're going to run the ball first. They're going to play decent defense. They're going to be, Missouri's going to be game. They're not coming in here laying down for Oklahoma. Guaranteed. But the matchup isn't good for them.
Missouri's wins: Central Arkansas, Kansas, Louisiana, Raging Cajuns. They beat South Carolina. They beat UMass. They beat Auburn 23-17, and they beat Mississippi State. That's it.
Yeah.
No, I don't think any of those teams have a winning record. Does Kansas have a winning record? I don't think so. If
they're
they do,
yelling at BTP.
They're 5-4. or something like that. They're 5-5.
Tim Bruckmiller, a lot of similarities between OU and Texas Tech defensively. When you play in the Big 12, that could be possible. But come on, bro. Stop.
Texas Tech's a good defense, bro. I keep telling you that. I know you don't want to believe it.
But we'll see. When they play somebody worth the shit, tell me about it. You know?
I got you. I
mean, that's all I'm saying.
I like
everything will be okay. Arbuckle will get better as he learns how to call plays in the SEC. He's only been an OC for 4 years. Again, this is not the place for development as a coordinator.
It's not.
You should come here ready.
And I saw that podcast with you arguing with that other guy. Man, get out of here with that. This is, and I said that at the beginning of I said that when Ben Arbuckle was hired, because of his record that he had at Washington State and the teams that he lost to. This is not where you come to figure it out. This
Have
is
your school supplies ready for class when you get here, dog.
This is a top 3 program in the nation. Wherever you want to put them, this is a top 3 program all time ever. You come here after you have already figured it out and you have already been established. When we went and got Brent Venables was not a head coach, but he has established himself as the best defensive coordinator in the nation. Now it's time to go get a top 5 offensive coordinator in the nation, not some up and comer. When Coach turned the reins over to Lincoln Riley was already had our offense high octane. So he wasn't even an up and comer. When we went and got Ben Arbuckle, he had lost his last 3 games at Washington State to like New Mexico and
Wyoming
and a bunch of other damn schools.
Yeah.
He should have never been hired, man. I think he was only hired because we went after John Mateer.
TP. Nobody said any different than what you're saying. You're repeating yourself over and over. We all know this.
6 times.
We already know, bro. We get it. But you got to expect him to do better then. If he ain't going nowhere, then do better. Or else they're not going to win. They're not going to win the national championship without them being better on the offensive side. That's a fact. At some point, you're going to run into a competent offense that won't turn the ball over. They will put up points.
And your defense is not going to get 3 turnovers a game to save you.
Again.
Without those 3 turnovers, we lose to Alabama.
Circumstantially, there's going to be some things that are going to happen that look, the last 2 weeks, you've had it work out in your favor. Looks like Kevin Wilson's big speech that he made helped. But in the end, it needs to help the offense. That's who he is as an offensive guy. It seems to have jacked up the defense. Now, fucking offense, let's get it done. Go out there and put some fucking points on the board. However you need to do it. Don't listen to us. Go get the shit done.
I got one more stat that'll probably put it in the context. Last week against Alabama, we had one drive in which that drive we got a field goal, but we had one drive more than 70 yards. One drive that was more than 70 yards that we went and got points. One drive, and it was a field goal. The rest of our points came from our defense and from short fields, from our defense getting turnovers. After a kickoff or a punt, we had one drive in which we got points, and that was 3 points. Guys, I don't know however many stats I got to give for y'all to understand that this offense is not it. And I understand that it might not be somebody coming through the door right now, but we need somebody to come through the door. Humble question. Go ahead, brother. You read it.
No. I wanted you to read it. Go ahead.
Okay, humble question. I really haven't been watching much, but is this system working the way y'all? Why I can't read right now? Working the way y'all thought it would.
You're fumbling it away, bro. No. Fumbling it away.
Yeah. So, and you definitely can't be a subscriber of mine because you would know on my channel, bro. When he got hired, that was probably one of the. Well, it was, other than my Seth Luttrell firing video, that was one of my highest videos with my views. As soon as he got hired, I came on and I made a video and I gave all the stats in the world why he was not going to be it, why he was going to be terrible. And everybody told me I didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't know better than Brent Venables. Gabe Eichert liked the hire, so I should fall in line. I don't give a damn what everybody else is thinking. Obviously, Brent Venables liked the hire because he hired him. But I went and I looked at the facts, and I'm not going to repeat the whole video on Jason's show. If you like, man, go back and watch the video.
Hey, it's a good video. He was talking some mad shit, boy. I loved it. It was a good video.
And I go off of what I see as far as football, and I have a lot of knowledge about this game because, like I said, I've played it and I've coached it. I played Arena League, guys, so I do got some pro football experience under my belt.
Listen, hey, this is a good one. Enough with the trick plays, Bert. Run the damn ball. He's doing. He's talking about the longest yard. I'm dead.
Yeah, when he ran that double reverse flea flicker pass, bro, I said, why?
Oh, Lord.
And you ran it for a 10-yard gain. Like, it was just ridiculous.
Hey, okay, Chavez. You know what, bud? Again, nobody said they weren't going to win this week. Nobody said they're not going to beat LSU. We said they're not winning the Natty without more offense. That's what we're saying. Yeah. Come back and tell me all about it when they win the national championship. I will kiss your ass all day long.
Yeah, we're going to win
all day long.
I have not been on my channel 1 week and predicted a loss for the University of Oklahoma. And that's not fluffing. That's not faking or nothing. I believe that we should be undefeated.
Last week. I didn't know if they were going to win last week. I had a feeling that they might. I think that they've kind of got Alabama's number.
I had all the faith in the world. I didn't make that prediction. Because one thing about that coaching staff is they are a pass first coaching staff, and I said that we were going to get their ass. I said we was going to get them because they throw the ball. And one thing,
on top of that, you have a week for Venables to prep for you. Having a bye week is very helpful. There was, and I think again, the physicality wise, Alabama's not quite as physical as they were under Saban. Let's just put it that way. I'm not going to say they're soft, but they're definitely not as physical as they were
because they don't run the ball like Saban did.
Correct. It's a different deal. Now, defensively, I thought that they were much better than I expected them to be. They were real good, right? But look, in the end, all we're getting at is it takes a complete effort from a football team to win a national championship. There's no two ways around it, guys.
Both sides of the football have to be.
It's going to take a complete effort.
And we are not elite on offense.
Offensively, you got to be for this elite defense. I think you got to be a 3 touchdown a game offense.
I said it at the beginning of the year. I believe that if we run the football, there is no team that would score 24 points on our defense if we controlled the time of possession. And if you go look at our schedule, now we don't score 30 a lot. And I didn't think that we were because of the offense coordinator situation. But
I don't think it's a player thing either, Scott.
Texas is the only team that scored more than scored that.
I don't think it's a player thing, Scott. It's not a player thing at all.
No, it's not the players. We have a great roster.
It's not an offensive line. It's not any of that.
I don't think y'all realize how strong our offensive line is. We got some monsters on the offensive line.
Before it gets any crazier, we're gonna go ahead and just shut this shit down because we've been going 2.5 hours. I don't want it to be. Look, guys, we're picking Oklahoma to win. Give me your final prediction. What's the score?
You asking them or you asking me?
I'm asking you.
Let's see. Touchdown, 2 turnovers, touchdown, 3 field goals. I mean, if we go with what we've been going with, man, I'm gonna say 24-3, 24-0. I think our defense
24-0 or 24-3. Which one is it?
I give them a field goal if we turn the ball over. I'll say 24-3. They're not going to sustain drives against us. Once again, guys, Missouri hasn't beat anybody. They haven't beat anybody.
If
Every
they do
team
this,
of note that they play. Oh no, we ain't scoring.
bro,
50.
if they do that, then their offense has figured some shit out.
All right,
Their offense has figured some shit out.
I got 24-3.
Okay. All right. 27-3, 31-9, 18-2, says Eho DeSimp. Liberty Metcalf, 35-13. 2-0, says Greg. Greg's talking shit. I love it. 27-9 says Corrections.
2-0.
27-17 says Ryan C. Who else is in here? Give me the rest of them.
They don't score 17.
65-4. Holy shit.
We don't score 65.
No way. 28-17, 23-13, mid
They don't get 17.
again. I don't know if they get 17 either. I'll go with 28-10. I'm gonna go with 28-10.
I like it.
Oh, that's your prediction every week. Okay. It doesn't hold no weight. I got it. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody coming in, and do not hate on us, man. Listen, we're both, and I can tell you for myself, I am pro Oklahoma the whole way. I want them to win every week. I'd love it if they were throwing up 50. I would love it if they were throwing up 28 a week. If they're doing that, I'm happy, because I think that's the sweet spot right now. Throw up 28. Your win.
24, 28 points. Nobody beats us.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I think they're going to be all right this week. I think they should be okay next week too. The one question that you have about LSU is they just hadn't beat them yet. And so you're going to need to get that done. And they do have talent. But I think you got to do this one at a time. And right now, I believe that this football team is looking at this. The playoffs have already started. I think that's the way they're looking at it. It's win or go home every week. You heard them saying it, right? I think that's where it is. Neilio.
Only one team has scored 30 points on us, and that's Ole Miss.
Yep.
That's it.
And they wouldn't have had it not been for that last turnover.
Facts. That's it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, hell, Tennessee was averaging 42 points a game.
And we held them
42.
to 27.
27? Yeah.
Yeah. And Alabama only scored 21.
We all are the monster that Switzer talked about. Hey, you know what? That's a fact. This monster has to be fed too. You got to feed it. And you know what? Me and Coach Al, shout out to Coach Al. He's been in the chat talking to us. He was talking about the same thing at Bama. They expect that damn monster to get fed too.
Oh, Alabama.
There's only a few places that are like this.
Go watch their podcast. They ready to fire Kalen DeBoer. they ready to run him out of town.
Oh yeah.
This is
nuts and guts time. Yeah, it is. And this and I'm not a big Dabo fan, but it's gut check time, boys. Gut check time. Go get it done.
We got to finish, man.
I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to be wrong, and the offenses get to be perfect like it is. I don't think.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope they find something and they score 40 points this week.
Yeah,
and next week. I'm praying.
Hey, you wore your new. Hey, man! Shout out to Neilio. He said he wore his new Hall of Fame hoodie out to T-Mobile Center last night for our ball game versus Mississippi State. Had a few asked what the logo was about. Hey, man! I appreciate you, Neilio. You are my guy. Appreciate you always supporting the show. He's a K-State guy, and this dude never misses a show and never doesn't donate and stuff. Thank you for the super chat as always. Awesome. Neilio even goes and does it through the super chats through Venmo instead of going through and getting half of it taken from me. So much appreciation. I appreciate you so much as always. But yeah, listen. Get out there. Hey, make sure you jump over there, hofmedia.us/pod-merch. That's hofmedia.us/pod-merch. I'll put it in the chat here to get yours. We've got some killer new stuff. Ronnie Weed, I was in there. For all you lovers of Mateer, the Moneyline Mateer stuff is still in there. And his wife, Rachel, had an amazing great design for it. So appreciate her a lot. But we've got the new Hall of Fame logos, as you see on my cap here. We've got a lot of that new stuff. hofmedia.us/pod-merch. And, man, I appreciate that a lot. You guys can go in there and get after it too. Norman shits and Eli drinks yard. Hey man, Norman's been he's still with my mom right now, but that's hilarious. My dog's name is Norman. He's a big dummy. But yeah, he's my guy. Like what I like. I love this show, BB. Appreciate you, my man. You are the guy. Appreciate you. All right, here we go. Guys, I appreciate everybody coming in. Hey man, I appreciate you coming and joining us, David.
Hey, I appreciate you for having me on, man. It's been a long time coming. I truly, man, this has been my first collab with another YouTube podcaster. So, man, this has really been a blessing. I'm glad that I got to come on here and just kind of talk to your fans as well, your subscribers. I appreciate Scott Walker. I appreciate that, man. I love the Sooners guys, and I love all the Sooner faithful. So I know some of it might seem a little down and out, but I promise you, man, I'm picking us to win every week. I don't think that we have any holes
and you know
as
what?
far as
Hey,
our roster. I just think that our offensive coaching side needs to do better. I'll say that. I want them to do better because I need a national title for my soul. I ain't got too many more years left on this earth. I don't want to die without getting another national title, man.
Before I die.
Please. 46 years old, man, with PTSD. I don't have too many more years left on this earth. I feel you there,
bro. I feel you there. Yeah. Hey, man, no, I appreciate it. And I've been watching you just for, about a month or so. And I'd hit you up earlier in the month. I noticed that you did email me back right then, but I didn't see it until the other day. Really glad we got to link up. Really glad we got to link up. And man, I'm happy to come on anytime. But yeah, you're welcome anytime. Come on by and hang with us and stuff, man. Would love to have you. And again, guys, you guys already know that you don't get bullshit here. You're gonna get what on this show. People are gonna say what they believe. I believe in that, and I do that shit all the time. So I'm happy to have him here, and you say what you got to say here. Even when we disagree with stuff like we did the other day, me and Dent, we're disagreeing. I still love the guy. That's still my guy, but I still don't agree with his ass either.
You can disagree and still be part of the same family, man. It's okay.
Yeah, that's what brothers fight, man. Brothers fight.
Yeah, we're not going to always agree on everything, guys. It's okay. And I'm not going to tell you you're stupid. That's your take. I get people that come on in my comments and they disagree with me all the time. I still have a conversation with them.
Mm-hmm. The only shit I get on this podcast is from Benji. I don't give a shit about Texas fans. They don't mean shit. So yeah, hey man, but I appreciate everybody coming in. Whatever your opinion is of us, love you anyway. Thanks for coming in. We will see you for sure. I'll be back in here tomorrow night. I don't know. Me and K. Chris and Mr. Mason might be doing something else tonight, but I'm not positive about that. So I'll check with them. If not, we'll see how it goes. Actually, though, I may be going and checking out Mustang and Jaden tonight. So we want to go check them out. They got little get back in the plans tonight for Mustang playing. Who are they playing? Oh shit, I'm trying to remember. Anyway, hey, thanks for coming in, Jaron. Sooner Cowboys, love you too, Sooner Cowboys. Not really though. Scott Walker, all you guys, appreciate you coming in. We'll see you all on the next one.